Welcome, everybody, to Crunch Time with Jeff, Booner, Lukas, and Mike. It is Wednesday, March 20th. And I mean, we don't have much to talk about. I mean,
Big news day.
Yeah. Slow news day, you know. Yeah. Cam Sutton being wanted by Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. Yeah, we're going to get into that in a little bit here. Also, John Maakaron. It's Wednesdays with Maakaron. He'll be joining us at 8:45. Can't wait for that. We're also going to be going through, giving our thoughts on Brad Holmes. He was at the Pro Day, Alabama's Pro Day. A lot of talent at that Pro Day. And Brad Holmes loves his Alabama players. So we're going to talk about that.
Oh, he does indeed.
Well, before we get into all of it, fellas, how we feeling today? What's the vibe like?
I'm feeling better. I think the Wi-Fi is holding. I'm in a better mood, less stress. So we're hoping for a better performance on a Klotz today. That's what we're hoping for. Improvement is always the answer.
Oh yeah, I'm pumped. March Madness tomorrow. If you haven't already, check out our Twitter. We got our bracket challenge going out for 4 free Tigers tickets. So jump in. Starts off tomorrow. MSU starting the whole thing. So get it.
Feel great, boys. Ready to roll.
Let's go, Boone. Come on, Boone. Let me give a shout out to the people that got here first, that were in here right at the beginning. We got Anakin Skyogre, we AB, Coach Walk, Shift God, Detroit Grit. Man, we appreciate you. Freddie Fell 313 as always. Seth, Mike Reed. Thank you guys for taking time out of your night to kind of join the fellows for this packed show. We got Micro Mike in there as well.
Shout out.
Up Crunch Crew, Micro Mike. We love you, man. We got to get Mike back on soon because especially after what transpired today, Cam Sutton.
Oh, yeah.
Which, you know what? Before we get into Cam Sutton stuff, I'm going to bring up what we just posted on our socials because I do think it's relevant and it applies because we brought this up yesterday and the day prior about how we're doing a March Madness giveaway and it's going to come in the form of a bracket. And I'm going to show this off. Then I'll get to Detroit Grit. He just gave us a super chat here. So I want to make sure I give him love. But here's what we just posted on our social media. It is the March Madness giveaway. We're giving away 4 Detroit Tigers tickets to the winner of our March Madness tournament bracket challenge. The rules, very simple. To enter, you retweet this tweet, which is on our Twitter, X, whatever the hell you want to call it, @OfficialCTPod. Follow. If you're already following, then you're good. Retweet, subscribe to our YouTube. Some of you already do 2 of these, so it's going to be very easy. All you got to do is retweet, fill out a bracket, and the person with the most, the best looking bracket when it's all said and done, you get a pair of 4 free Tigers. So
easy way.
Yeah. Easy.
I mean, come on. It's easy. So
a nice day out on the town for the Tigers game.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll show up.
Yeah, Boone's going to be in the seat right next to you by himself.
He'll be your chauffeur for the day.
You have to beat me. You have to beat me in the tournament first, which I don't know if anyone will. So
yeah, Boone, what if you win?
Yeah, I'm going to the Tigers game. No, we'll go to the second place. We'll go to the next person.
Boone.
We'll do the second person.
By the way, shout out to Ryan Lentz in there too. Ryan, we love you, man.
Shout out Lentz.
That man is the GOAT, the absolute GOAT.
Good people,
hey, we avoided it for 5 minutes. I mean, we just got to get into it. Cam Sutton, man. I mean, the dude.
Not good people, Cam Sutton.
Not good.
What are we doing? I mean,
Brutal.
It's
Guys,
a wild story.
It's wild. I mean, it's disappointing. It's embarrassing. I mean, for the Lions, I came out with a video today to kind of go more in depth on it, but we have more information. So now it'll be more fun to kind of get into. But it was reported, and I'll just kind of put the tweet up because I don't want to just let the tweet talk for itself. And it actually got worse, the charge. So,
what did it got upgraded?
Yeah. So let's start with the original tweet, and then we'll go to the one that they just posted a couple hours ago. They posted again, Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, their official Twitter. It's government verified. It's a real thing. I mean, I know some people at the beginning were like, "Is this real?" I think it's fake. No, it's real, 100% real. And they posted this: the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office needs your assistance in locating a wanted subject. Cameron Sutton, 29. He is wanted for aggravated battery, domestic violence. He may be driving a Jeep Grand Wagoneer with a plate number of FLAZ33QB. If you have any information on the whereabouts of Cameron Sutton, please call through 813-247-8200. And in the video, I called this a mugshot. It's not a mugshot because he hasn't been found. So there's no mugshot. This is his driver license photo. So this is Cam Sutton, obviously, and they did change the charge. It's aggravated battery, domestic violence. Now it's domestic battery by strangulation. So
that even just sounds worse. It sounds 10 times worse.
It is what it sounds like. I mean, it's worse. It meaning there is more details. To be honest with you, even if this didn't get, changed or corrected, as they put it, this is still an offense where you could be cut. I mean, you should be cut.
Yeah.
Like there's no excuse for this in the NFL, but there's no excuse for this with the Lions, especially. And I know people, again, I said this today as well, fellas, like in today's world, in today's society, typically it's guilty till proven innocent. It should be innocent till proven guilty always. But to me, there's not much to prove. I mean, do you want details? Of course. But we have details and enough to warrant for him to get cut. Like it's that simple. Justin Rogers, a couple beat reporters out there, they've been grinding today, making phone calls. I believe Justin Rogers put out that it happened on early March 7th, I believe it is, 13 days ago, at around 4:30 a.m., middle of the night. And they've been trying to contact him since then, and he has not responded. So they can't get in touch with Cam Sutton. He's, I guess at this point, just, I don't know if on the run's the right word, but he's MIA. You know what I mean? He's MIA.
I think that's a good way to put it. You got a warrant, you're not showing up anywhere, not showing up to work, talking to your bosses.
So at this point, the police went and put out that photo online. It blew up, obviously, amongst Lions Twitter. But guys, just your initial reactions to kind of all this stuff, because it's a lot, man.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is they can't, like, they haven't came out and said that he's turned himself in. And they can't find him, so it's like hard, like the innocent till proven guilty. It's tough because he's been on the run. It sounds like for 2 weeks. So it's like, what's going on? That right there sounds like if you're on the run, like you're guilty if you haven't turned yourself in to kind of figure this thing out. I'm with you though, Jeff. It's probably a situation to where you have to cut him or release him, and especially I'm sure they haven't done it yet because they're trying to figure out what's going on first. But I'm sure as soon as he turns himself in or whatever happens, then that's gonna be the case. I'm interested to see what goes down to that. This is the first. It's like the first instance of something bad like this since Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, like this whole regime has came around, and this is like different level bad. It's not like just something like this is like a different level to where it's like you're done. Something like this, you're done. We have to cut you. I don't know what I saw a bunch of people instantly going to like, what's the price and everything. It's like that's not even like at first. It's just like, no, dude, you're just done. Like you're off the team. And I think Dan and Brad, like for what they've preached and stand for, like the last 2 or 3 years, they're not going to deal with any of this stuff. And it's, hey, we're on to the next guy. We don't need that. I was shocked to see this, to be honest, about Cam Sutton, because I thought he was like, I was absolutely shocked, to be honest, when I saw it. I didn't believe it. I sent it to you guys. I was like, this can't be real, boys. Like this can't be real. Is this actually Cam? And it was. So I think it's a situation to where you go into this offseason now, I'm not expecting Cam Sutton to be on the roster any longer. Obviously, it's not official yet. I'm just not expecting him to be on this in the organization going forward.
Yeah, no, overall just terrible situation, and I hope the victim's okay, and I hope Cam turns himself in before this whole situation just gets worse. But overall, it's just a terrible situation for everyone involved, and I hope it gets resolved in the best way possible. And yeah, like you said, Booner, I can't expect Cam being on the team at all. Like these situations just can't happen.
Yeah, especially if they're reaching out. I mean, we all clowned Jack Jones for bringing a gun to an airport, and then he got released within that week when all the reports came out. The Lions are trying to reach out to Cam Sutton, and he strangled a female. No place for it, because at the end of the day, he realistically should be facing jail time. So I think the fact of him being on an NFL roster next year just completely escapes it unless he lawyers up. But at first I was surprised by it, but then you guys, and I saw a couple posts on this on Twitter about it, but during the season when Cam Sutton was kind of struggling, like fans were DMing him and he was like replying with some crazy replies. It kind of shows you that he's got that other side. And I mean, it sounds stereotypical, but DBs are crazy people, man. Like you got to be a crazy individual and you snap and you look like especially if you be playing around the league for a while, CTE, like you never know. You never know.
Well, and I want to make this very, very clear. Our thoughts and prayers are with the victim, and our thoughts and prayers are also the fact that Cam Sutton gets found. Like, where is he? Like, I mean, I don't even know where this man is. Like, and again,
I'm shocked he's not found yet, or he hasn't turned himself in.
That also kind of speaks to my next point is, yes, it's always innocent until proven guilty. But if he was innocent, why is he running? Like, that's where I'm at. Like, why? What are you running from? If you don't think if you thought you were in the right, man up and face the consequences. Get this resolved. But the fact that he's running away signals that he even knows it's not a good look. It's a terrible thing. So, I mean, number one, it's not even, yes, the fact that he strangled a woman it's even worse, but strangling anybody, I mean, it just doesn't matter. I mean, it's just inexcusable behavior. One thing you can say about who the Lions have drafted and or signed is you don't worry about them once the game's over. All right. Once we're in the offseason, you don't have to worry about any of these guys. If Cam Sutton is this type of character, you don't want that on your team. You don't want to worry about him, what he does in the offseason, getting in trouble. That is not something you want to be obsessed or worry about. It's just the big thing about why people argued against Jalen Carter. So we got to be consistent here, right? If he has off the field issues, there's no place for that with the Detroit Lions. Zero. And, will he get back in the NFL? I don't really care, to be honest. Like, it's 2024. You can't do this and get away with it. You just can't. Like, I'm sorry. I mean, Cam Sutton could be, even if he had a great year last year and he was really good. I mean, there's just no excuse. How are you going to go forward with a distraction like this in your locker room? I mean, you're going to have reporters that the media, like they're focusing on the wrong things. It's just a distraction, guys. Like, it's unfortunate. And again, we don't have all the facts until, of course, they settle this thing in the court of law or when he turns himself in. But I'm sorry, we don't need all the. You have enough information to make an opinion, at least. And my opinion is it's fucked up. It's fucked up.
Yeah, no. My biggest question too is I'm just trying to figure out if this happened on March 7th. I mean, we're 2 weeks away from that, and I know he hasn't been found yet. I'm just shocked, and maybe this is just me. In the world we live in with media and everything going on, I'm shocked this is the first that any of us are hearing of it, was that the police station had to put out a warrant saying that that they're looking for him for 2 weeks now. I don't know if that's shocking to you guys or anyone in the chat, but that just, to me, it's like, it's been 2 weeks now and no one's heard from Cam Sutton. No one knows what's going on. He has a warrant out for his arrest for 2 weeks. That's just, that's crazy. Like, that the Lions heard from him, has upper management. Like, where has this, like, what is going on with this situation? It seems a lot more, as you kind of start talking through it and we start thinking about it more, it seems a lot like it's obviously a serious situation from what he did, but like, where is he? Why is this just coming out on March 20th, 13 days later, and no one's spoken a little, like, everyone found out literally through a Twitter post of a police station down in Florida. That's not how, in my opinion, what happened there. And the only reason they put it up is because they're like, guys, we haven't found him in 2 weeks. So it's a serious situation, and like, prayers to the victim and the family, but it's just obviously, and like, I'm very content with the point to where he's probably going to no longer be with the organization going forward, because it's just such a wild situation. I was shocked seeing that. It is crazy.
Yeah, and I just want to say, like, real quick, like, and I've made this very clear, but I'm sorry, guys, and I'm sorry if I'm hog. There's a lot of things I feel about this, and I see people kind of getting worked up, and I get this, and we're going to move on to football. I just wanted to clear this up, get our thoughts on it, because again, it is significant. We're going to talk about this, and of course, again, it's fair to say that until you have all the facts, I get all of that, but guys, this is right or wrong. Like, this isn't like a wait till maybe there's a reason he choked her. Are you kidding me? Like, I don't give a shit what happened. There is no reason he should strangulation. Are you kidding me? Like, there's no, like, wait till the facts come out. It's right or wrong. This is wrong. Like, from the information we have, like, unless an information came out that it wasn't him, it's wrong. Like, unless they got the wrong guy, it's wrong. So I don't want to hear we're judging. You read the report. The sheriff's office just told you he strangled her. I don't care what happened. Leave. You're a professional athlete, dude. You're going to lose in any scenario. Like you're going to lose. Even if he, or if she tried, God forbid, tried killing him. Of course you have to defend yourself. But if it's a simple, they're arguing, she gets physical, leave. Mm-hmm. It's that simple. I don't know why there's this whole defending Cam Sutton. You're going to die in the hill of this?
Are there people defending him?
I've seen that too, and people are in the comments saying it.
People will freak out on the whole innocent until proven guilty narrative. And it's yes, that's true. But when you have certain context around it, especially stuff like this, and the man's on the run, to your point, Booner, there's something going on that's not right. And what's not right is when you strangle a female, especially when you're as strong as Cam Sutton is. It just don't need to beat a dead horse on it, but it is. It's just fucked up.
Yeah, and that's I just wanted to clear that up. I honestly, it blows my mind that there's even people that are hold on, guys, we're judging too soon. What? He strangled her. I don't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happened. It's wrong. And guess what? Brad Holmes, if he cuts him, keep that same energy. By the way, because he's gonna be cut. So this is
gonna get cut.
This is a big no. Big no. So. It's a shame. Again, Cam Sutton, I'm shocked. Cam seemed reserved. I didn't know him, obviously, but I'm shocked. And I see this comment, bro. But by the way, I just want to address this. I'm sorry. Truth teller. And by the way, appreciate you always in here. So it's okay to disagree here. Why are you speculating? I'm sorry. The sheriff's office literally just told you he strangled her. That was the charge.
They changed the charge midday.
I don't know. Now we have to wait till it gets settled. But again, clearly, it's bad. I don't have all the facts, but come on, man. There's enough there. If he's been on the run for 2 weeks, something's going on. So we're not assuming. Again, none of us have commented on anything other than what we know, which is fair.
Yeah.
Again, unless he has to pull something out of his ass, man, to get out of this one. I don't know what it's going to be, but he's going to have to pull something out of the
field. He probably won't do it off the field.
Yeah, it's crazy. And again, I understand charges are not what it is, but still, the fact that it is a charge, the fact that he's on the run, the fact that they're looking for him, and the fact that he can't be found,
and that it happened March 7th.
It's very simple. It's not good. Not good.
All of the signs point to most likely be not going to turn out well. If you've been gone for 13 days and they've been looking for him, and then they had to do a warrant because they're hey, we can't find him. So
if I'm Cam,
everything indicates it's not a good situation.
If I'm Cam Sutton and I see that, I'm going right to the police. I'm saying, no, what's wrong? And I have proof.
For sure.
Where's he at? Where's he at? Please, Cam Sutton, if you're innocent, please turn yourself in. How about that? Does that sound better? If you're innocent, turn yourself in. We shall see. Then the Lions will keep him then, fellas. They won't. Okay. They just won't. I know. There's no way. We've seen this happen with other players, other athletes. It's a shame. Cam Sutton has everything to lose, and you just can't put yourself in that situation. You just can't put yourself in that situation. You just can't. And the Lions put out this statement. And this is from Tim 21 statement from the Lions on the warrant issued for Cam Sutton by the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office for domestic battery by strangulation. They write, we became aware of the ongoing legal situation involving Cam Sutton this morning. We will continue to monitor the situation and will not have further comment at this time. So again, they're waiting on the investigation to unfold, whether the strangulation charges go through or not. That's a bad look, regardless.
Yeah. I think to me, it sounds like it's just going to be a situation though, where they're going to wait until he turns himself in or he's found and then kind of go from there. I don't think it's going to be a thing where, hey, we're going to wake up tomorrow morning, he's going to be cut. I think it's, hey, let's figure out what's going on. And obviously if you're on the run and no one can find you, on our eyes, it looks guilty.
Yeah.
So we do say that, but as an organization, I'm sure the Lions are saying, hey, and I do see some comments of people hey, you have to see what happened first. I get the side to where it's, hey, let's see what happens, because obviously he still hasn't turned himself in, so no one knows. Not even the Lions, I'm sure, knows exactly what is happening right now with the whole scenario. and they don't know even have a story. They don't know. All they probably know almost as much as us. So I think it's Lions are going to say, okay, when he turned himself in, what happened? Anything that's like even close to it, boom, you're cut. If it's that, you're cut. You're done. So I think they're just waiting. I think it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, I mean, even this, and I get it. Like Apollo, I understand. Okay, then Jeff, I assume you strangled someone, so let's send you to jail because I said it. Well, number one, I wouldn't be in a situation where you'd even have proof. So that would be the other thing. And then number two, if you did accuse me, I'd go right to the sheriff's office and I'd clear it up. It'd be done in a day. Like I would have evidence. I was here. This is what happened. And I'd bring my lawyer. We'd work it out. I wouldn't run for 2 weeks, man. Like, come on. And if she has marks on her neck, again, we don't know the facts. Like, does she have marks? I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is. But it's a bad look. Can we agree there? Yes. Can we agree?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, dude,
like, I wouldn't
100%.
be in that situation anyway. Like, just leave, man. That's all.
Anytime you're in, if you're like a guy, like a player in the NFL, and you're just in the news in those scenarios, like when I saw that tweet come across my phone today, and I saw that, I'm just like. And anyone, it's just like when you're, any player on the Lions, anyone, you're just like, come on, man.
It's terrible. I mean, I don't want this to happen to any NFL player, man.
Yeah, it's a brutal situation, and it happens. It's tough that it happens, but
yeah, I mean, it's bad. I mean, and again, we'll make it clear again if it wasn't clear already. We hope he's okay. I mean, where is he? Like, that's like where my mind goes. Is he alive? Where is he? The fact that they can't get a hold of him. Like, that might be its own concerning thing. Like, I don't know, man. I'm praying for the victim, number one. And number two, I'm praying for Cam Sutton, if he's alive. I mean, Jesus, man. So, we'll find out what unfolds there with that whole situation, fellas. I mean, it's a shame. I'm curious. This is the first time the Lions have had something like this happen with a player.
Yeah.
So, we'll see how that. Now, I do want to ask, does this kind of change how you guys think Brad should approach free agency? Not free agency, but the draft and free agency. Like,
let's talk some ball now, boys.
It's interesting because you have Cam Sutton, you had Cam Sutton, you have Carlton Davis, you had Amik Robertson. Like, not saying that, Brad's going to be like, now we're going to draft one in the first round. But, guys, you got to get another corner. You can't have Carlton Davis and Amik Robertson and roll out there. They got to get another corner if Cam Sutton's not a Lion, which I'm assuming he won't be.
Does it feel like to you guys, as soon as I heard that, and it's like he might not be coming back, I just think there's two options, and one is a guy we've talked about a lot. Lucas's guy, Stephon Gilmore, like that's a guy that's out there still, where you do have some depth now at the corner position, to where now you don't have Cam Sutton. Get a Stephon Gilmore to replace him, and now you're right back to square one, and you can. Because to me, with the draft strategy, I feel like Brad has always had like the best player available, as he's talked about. So he's not. I don't think he's going to change the draft strategy as much as people think that he is. Yes, probably he's going to look at corner still, but if he goes and gets a corner, in my head, I kind of think that that's where he was going to go anyways, because that's the best player available, and he's been very, very like he's told us this is what I'm going to do. So I don't think it's going to change it a ton. I think personally, yeah, if you don't bring a Stephon Gilmore in or another vet corner, you have to draft a corner in the first or second round now. You have to. That now it just changed. What just happened, as much as it sucks, that just changed your whole draft strategy. It's before you could go, all right, we need to get an edge. We need to get another receiver. We need to get maybe some depth at the O-line. Now it's, okay, now we are going to need a corner. We were expecting him to be in the building. We do need to get another corner. If not, let's go check free agency real quick and see if we can get someone cheaper. Like a Stephon Gilmore is $6-8 million or whatever he'll take, and let's roll with that so you can keep your draft strategy. Brad's I'm sure he, outside of being at a pro day today, I'm sure he was like, all right, what do I have to kind of change the strategy to now?
Yeah, no, I still think they were gonna draft a cornerback in the later rounds. Maybe this kind of moves one up, but I'm kind of with Booner here. Obviously, we didn't expect this Cam Sutton situation to boil down, but I think since it did, you have to kind of go out and get a veteran to take his spot. You don't want to be going in there with Amik, and then obviously you maybe get a rookie behind him. But I think for So to solidify that DB room, you go out and you get another veteran. And I know you guys brought up Gilmore, but are there any other corners that you guys think that are possible targets for us in this scenario?
I mean, just names that are out there. What were you saying, Jeff?
No, what about you?
I would say, it's not like a high tier guy, but like a guy like a Kella Witherspoon or someone of his tier. There's still some veterans out there that haven't signed yet. They're kind of like the Josh Reynolds of the corners. And I know Dory Jackson's still out there as well. There's a couple of guys, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think they have to add a body through the draft, but I don't think it really changed the needs because at the end of the day, they needed a cornerback one, and they got that with Carlton Davis. Now, Amik Robertson to Cam Sutton, yeah, there's a talent gap there, but I don't think it's as big as some people might not look at it as, just because you look at the cover skills. I think Amik honestly is probably a better cover corner, but Cam, at least against the run, is a little bit more consistent there. But they got to add somebody at least in the second round. But I still think defensive end, without a doubt, is the number one priority. So if you don't go edge in the first round, I would hope it's either at corner, just because I know I'm not high on Kool-Aid McKinstry, but he had a good pro day today. So if they take Kool-Aid, then I won't be mad at it. But I don't think it honestly changes too much, drastically at least.
Yeah, I mean, I'm comfortable with Amik as your third corner, but they need somebody else.
That's my issue.
That's mine
really
too.
Your number two, and I don't want to go at Amik because Amik can be probably a 2. He's still young, but that was going to be your depth piece. Amik was your depth piece. That was your number 3. Now it's like, all right, now he needs to be 2. No, and after Amik, who do you have really in that corner room? No one really. Like you don't have a ton of depth at all. Now, like you have to address it now because you had 3 guys right there that for depth. Now you like originally you could have gone in the 3rd round and get another corner, and then you have 4 guys there to work with, rotate in and out. Injuries happen, whatever the case is. Now you just don't have the depth now. Now it's Carlton Davis and Amik Robertson. That's it. And there's some guys on the practice squad, obviously.
Don't forget about E-Man.
Who am I leaving out?
Emmanuel Mosley.
I was just trolling. Emmanuel Mosley.
I don't really think about him because he's probably going to be like week 4, week 5, or
yeah.
That's what he was this last year. So I'm guessing it's going to be a similar. I think you have to draft someone now, and it might be earlier than we thought. Or like imagine getting like a Stephon Gilmore and then still drafting someone in the 3rd or 4th. Cam,
that's what you need right there, Booner.
Max Melton.
That's how you do it, Booner.
I think.
Stephon Gilmore, Max Melton.
I think we've all been a pro Stephon Gilmore pod, but after this, like I think we gotta go down to Allen Park. I think we gotta bring the sign.
That he's still available.
Yeah, and he's probably waiting. I mean, just like, hey, someone's gonna call. And the Lions, if they haven't tried to call already, they should. I think Stephon would be a great addition. Again, a veteran. He could still play at a high level. And they got to draft a corner, boys. Like I said it, and I said this before the Cam Sutton stuff, but I wouldn't be opposed to a corner in the first round. Now I'm actually more open to it, given that I mean, we'll get into it in a little bit here, but Brad was at the pro day where Kool-Aid showed out with a messed up foot. So
yeah.
Bonji
ran fast.
Shout out Bonji, man.
You ran like a 4.49, I believe.
Yeah, 4.4. It was like mid 4.4 with a bad foot. So man, if he's healthy, I mean, that's 4.4 right there.
Yeah, there's going to be options.
He didn't even run at the combine, did he? Yeah.
No, he was in a boot, I think, when we were there. So I think Brad, man, I do think a corner is going to be in play. We understand Brad does BPA, but man, I'm starting to believe that Kool-Aid, you can convince me at 29, if he's there, he might be the best player available. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Or I wonder if it's more likely that he trades up for a corner now. You know what I mean? Like, say some of his guys go off the board and he's sitting there at like picks 15, 16, and maybe either Quinyon or Terrion are still available. And he's like, the fuck I have to lose trading up to get one of these guys. Like, these guys are going to be cornerback ones most likely in the NFL. If I put them behind Carlton Davis for the first year, let them develop, give me that. Terrion Arnold. If you were to give me Terrion, and look, I live in Toledo, boys. I'm a big Quinyon Mitchell fan, but Terrion Arnold is going to be walking out of this draft as the best corner. So if you can get him and move up, I know we only have 3 picks in the first 3 rounds, but I think that's something that you get him, you get like a Marshawn Nealand out of Western Michigan in the 2nd round. You get your edge in the 2nd round, get a wide receiver in the 3rd or 4th. That's a successful draft.
Yeah.
And another guy, I mean, we haven't been too high on him by any means, but Nate Wiggins has been dropping in a
Don't you
lot of
say it, Gentry.
I don't want him. I would prefer all those other corners, but it could be an option, seeing that how late he is falling in some of these mocks after that injury at the combine.
Yeah, I like when you mentioned, because this is where me and you differ with it, Lucas, and I can't believe. Hey, I'm what's the 419? I'm repping the 419. I like Quignon a lot, and honestly, what got me with Quignon isn't even just what he did at Toledo, but what he did at the Senior Bowl, because that was his opportunity to match up with, other good wide receivers that are going to go, first couple rounds, and he showed out. So I like Quignon. If the Lions can walk away, we know Brad wanted Devon Witherspoon last year, wanted a corner, didn't end up getting it. This might be the play right here. You trade up and get a corner. I boys. Boone, who's your guy? Who's you and Mike's? We've talked about it. I know me and Lucas are kind of on opposite sides. Where are you guys at with number one corner in the draft?
Since we came back from the combine and went to the combine, and I'm with you, Jeff, with the Senior Bowl, a guy like Quignon Mitchell, who played at Toledo, to where it's like, all right, he played in the MAC. You can question, like, has he played at that high level yet? Like, how can he actually transition into the NFL? When you go to the Senior Bowl, that's where you can kind of show what you can do. And then if you build off that and go into the combine and put on a show and put up numbers and people start talking about you, that's where I start seeing, like, okay, yes, this guy could play football. If Quignon Mitchell, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, if he was playing at like an Alabama or an SEC school, it makes me feel like he'd be talked about higher with the Terrion Arnolds. And like, so that's where I think a Quignon, to where if we're looking at, Terrion probably goes first. Yeah, for sure. But if you can get Quignon after Terrion, and there's a chance that he's a better player, and there's a really good chance he's the better corner, I'm with that. If you don't have to trade up as far to go get a corner, and you can get there at 20 or 21 and get Quignon and he drops, I'm all in on that. But I have seen mock drafts where it's back and forth. That was something I put in this segment here for one of my bullet points was, is Brad now going to trade up? So I'm on the same page with Lucas, to where I think that makes it that much more in play. It's like, if he trades up, I'm not expecting him to trade up for an edge rusher. If I see, like, draft night, we're sitting there at Bookies doing our show, and it comes through, the Detroit Lions are trading up for the number 15th or 16th or 20th overall pick, and there's still a corner on the board, instantly we're getting Quignon Mitchell if he's still on the board. That's where my head's going to go. It's not going to go anyone else going forward. It's going to be those guys. So I won't hate it, to be honest, because that was someone we were big on when we were in Indy, was Quignon Mitchell.
Yeah, no, personally, I would take either of them. I mean, I like Quignon, and I've been all about Quignon, but if you walk away with one of the top two corners in this draft, I think it's a win no matter what. Obviously, you would have to trade up to do so, but I wouldn't hate it by any means. Give me either of them.
Well, here's this question. I think but real quick, I'm sorry. I have to do this because I'm so sorry, Detroit Grit. We forgot to address it. Thank you for the $5. That's on me. We got a little, we're getting heated, giving some opinions. Thank you for the $5, but we appreciate you. He says, Cam, not an island, no mo. He's at the bottom of a swamp. Okay. Well, you know what? You're not. We'll see till the facts come out. That's what we gotta wait. But Detroit Grit, we appreciate the donation. Vision Stealth, thank you for the $2. He says, do you think he's even alive? Well, I mean, we hope so. God forbid. Yes. Hope nothing happened to him. That's not good at all. But I do want to bring this question up. Truth Teller just dropped it. I think it's an interesting one. Is it worth it to trade up for a corner? What do you guys think? Trading up for a corner? I know we talked about trading up for an edge. It should be important. We are just kind of spitballing with the idea of possibly trading up for a corner, but would we agree that if he trades up, it should be, depending on who's there, one of the edges? Where are you guys at with that? Or would you prefer a corner?
I think edge or corner. One of the two. I think, obviously, given the Cam Sutton scenario, you kind of insert, you need another cornerback, and if you get one of the best two, I think it's a win-win. But either one of those two positions, but I think cornerback is becoming more realistic after this stuff boiled down.
It feels like, too, like, my preference, if I was like, this is perfect scenario, I would rather, go get the Stephon Gilmore, go get me a vet corner, wait and just keep this normal with it. I would rather you trade up and go get a defensive end and go get me a Latu or someone like that. If someone drops, go get me that edge that falls. Like I would rather have that than trade up for a corner. But again, it comes back to what do you do in that corner room now? Like I feel like we hopped in a time machine and went a week back to where all we had to talk about was what's happening with this corner position. Because now again, it's a need. It's like when we got Carlton Davis, it was still, hey, we still need one more guy. And then you got Amik Robertson. It was like, oh, now we're set. Now we can go draft. And when you got your nose tackle and DJ Reader, now it's time. The draft is open. Mm-hmm. Not the case anymore. Now there's an actual need again in corner and edge. So it's which do we do? I would prefer go get a vet and draft Max Melton in the 3rd. And go trade up for it and go get your edge next to Hutch, man, on the other side. That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah,
That's
I'm in lockstep with you, Booner. Because we even talked about it earlier when we talk about the Cam news in general. Like, this doesn't change the Lions' need still being an edge. Like, that's the number one need right now. And if you're looking up, the only way I would be okay with trading up for a corner is if it was for Quinyon or Terrion. If they traded up for Nate Wiggins, I'd be pissed. If they traded up for Ennis Rakestraw, for someone in that cat, I would lose my mind. If you trade up for Jared Verse or Latu, I don't care really what you give up because I think now you have the answer to help even that secondary that just lost some depth. So I would go edge for sure.
And I think there's an argument to say that this, and I see people talking about it, right? Like even Lone Spoon, corner is a deeper class. I'd rather trade up for a DN. Like I certainly think there's an argument. It just depends if Brad, again, it's BPA, we get that. But if Brad thinks, hey man, there's some elite corners that are in this first round, and I'm not sold on those guys past the first round, then I think there's a case. But overall, I think we all agree. If you're going to trade up, it's going to be for a pass rusher.
And do you know what I've found with Brad? With Brad as well, and he did this at the trade deadline, Brad's not going to force anything as well, fellas. And his press conference at the end of the season when he said, and he's sitting there breaking down corners saying, I know how to evaluate corners, and I don't just because there's a lot of corners in the class doesn't mean they're all good. If that to me means that he doesn't like any of the corners besides the top guys and he doesn't get one in the first round, Brad's like not one of those stubborn GMs who's going to just go, hey, I just need to I need a corner. I'm going to reach for one and get Nate Wiggins, even though I don't think he has the size and he's good. I'm just because he's there and he's available. That's not going to happen with Brad. He is going to make sure he gets the right guy. And if that means that we end up going into next season, guys, with Carlton Davis and Amik Robertson, I wouldn't be shocked from what we've seen Brad do. Brad at the trade deadline, and I died on the hill, was that we can roll with what we got, and they did, and they went and won football games. So I wouldn't be shocked if he's like, we're good with what we got. We'll get some depth pieces behind Amik, and we'll roll with that. That would be crazy, but I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get one in the first round still.
Well, it's funny. Brad's out here shopping. I mean, he's doing his pre-draft scouting where he's checking out pro days. And this came out. Jim Nagy put this out. Usual, not unusual, usual big NFL turnout today for Alabama. Their pro day. 5 GMs, Lions, Steelers, Bills, Titans, Packers, and 4 head coaches, Cowboys, Raiders, Steelers, Titans, in attendance to watch the top 100 players like J.C. Latham, Dallas Turner, Chris Braswell, and Terrion Arnold and Kool-Aid McKinstry, and Senior Bowl alums, defensive end. Yeah, Justin. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll call him Ebo. And then Will Ricard. So you got a lot of Alabama players that are going.
Who's
that's
Will
not,
Ricard?
That's not little bro.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
That's Harrison.
That's not little bro.
Threw me off for a second, boys. I saw a place kicker. Whoa, that might be my guy. Almost
Spoon's like, is that him? That's Harrison Mavis. That's your guy. That's your guy right there. Okay. So he was scouting. He's checking out some of these players. I got some footage here I want to show you, fellas. First, we'll show you the Kool-Aid McKinstry's 40 because I have that. So we'll play that. This is him running the 40 with a bad foot. So check this out, man. He look pretty fast. I'm not gonna lie to you. Look how he runs, though, man. Dude.
He's running like a psycho. My God.
Dude, yeah. He's running like an absolute psycho. That's a Brad Holmes guy right there.
Can I put into context as well real quick for Kool-Aid? He was running hurt, fellas. He had a boot on. He has a Jones fracture. I believe it's in his right foot or something. He's injured, and he's going Friday to get surgery before the season. So he literally just did all of this on an injured foot, and is like, I'm going to go roll with that. That's if I'm being honest, Kool-Aid doing that got me a little bit like, let's go, bro. Throw the pads on. That's what that makes me feel like a little bit. Just throwing that out there. You guys know how Brad rolls.
Yeah. He a dog. I mean,
he loves dogs, dude.
Bad foot. You're out there running 40s. And you know what helps too? Get to know Kool-Aid, to kind of get to know Kool-Aid McKinstry. Who else better to ask than his good friend, Terrion Arnold? Terrion interrupted a little media scrum talking to Kool-Aid McKinstry. And he wanted to kind of say some things about his boy. So let's check this out. And we can kind of get an insight on those two and their relationship because it's pretty interesting.
Pushing me pushing you. Yes, sir. And the media tries to take the narrative that we paired up against each other. Yeah. But we really brothers. How you feel about that?
Man, like I just told him, bro, you my brother, man. I love you to death like my mom had you, man. That's a different type of love. So
For real.
I don't know why, people try to do that, but we brothers.
Okay, then.
Terry, and why should people draft Kool-Aid?
Hey, man, people should draft Kool-Aid number one. Most people don't know this about him, but I mean, it's kind of getting out. The guy's a smart football player. He knows the game. And more importantly, he's a better individual. Like, he wears the chains. We know him as flashy. But one thing about him, like, the guy really works and loves the game. When we came in here, we took a pact at each other and said we were going to motivate each other to become better, push each other to become better. And we did that. Like, he really held me to a high standard, held the team to a high standard. I can't tell y'all what he used to say in the games, but, hey, that guy right there, true competitor, man. Like, you're getting an all-around great football player. Like, look, the guy getting ready to have surgery on Friday, came out here, competed at Pro Day. We were roommates at the Combine, so when he couldn't perform, it broke his heart. And me being his brother, it broke my heart too, because I just know how much he loves the game and wants to go out there and perform. And with that being said, like, people don't understand, man. This guy really, really loves the game. Like, he came to Alabama, put on for Alabama, and our last time being in here, being able to come in here and compete, it was just like practice. I wouldn't have made a spectacular catch. He came back, he did it. I'm out there, I'm like, hey, man, I'm a little tired. He like, T, don't show it. So, I mean, that right there, man, like, they're getting an all-around great person, a great leader, man. How exciting is that?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Did you see dude holding like 4 mics?
You saw that? Yeah, the guy over there?
Yeah, hold on. I'm not going to let that guy get away with it. I mean,
like, what is going on there?
He's got every mic in the building.
He's working for 3 companies.
On him.
Yeah. How many contracts does he have? Jeez.
I mean, yeah, like, let's just hold on.
It's
Like,
getting
before
paid.
we, like, you know what? Before we even get into all the details, I mean, who is this man?
I want him on the show.
Who was the leak? The leaks last week that was coming our chat. The one that did the Josh Reynolds re-signed. Something column.
The fake names.
This is from behind the camera. This is him.
Yeah, he's got you know what? I appreciate this man's work ethic. He's got 4 mics.
He's got the
3.
nice watch. Look at the watch, dude. Like,
Yep.
we need to get this guy on the show. Let's ask him about Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's a real one right there.
The worker.
Well, fellas, I mean, yeah,
Love
I
that.
think some of the things he highlighted, I just think it screams. It screams like he fits. At least what Terrion said is true, boys. Work ethic. He's injured.
Both of those guys.
I mean, he's injured. Come on, it's got to mean something.
It's a Brad Holmes guy. If I've ever seen or heard of one.
Having surgery right before his rookie season. Great way to start off a year.
By the way, boys,
you
first
are
overtime game in March Madness.
Is it really?
What's
How's
State.
was it
Montana State.
was it Japanese Steph Curry? Is it who is it?
Yeah,
China
the
from,
Nebraska kid, dude. I'm
is it-
pumped.
I'm
He's
sorry,
Friday
this place
night, I
sounds
think,
really
at like
bad.
9 o'clock.
Where's he from?
Japan, I
Okay.
believe. I believe. I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
It's Japanese. Okay, I thought it was
dude.
called.
I showed you guys his highlights. He plays like Steph Curry, left-handed.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Looks like
Yeah,
he's
he's
like 5'8" out there. Just he's a beast.
Well, I got someone who's going to join us. I would say he's a beast. I don't know. I mean, John, John? I mean, come on here, John. Let's ask John what he thinks. John, welcome to the show, brother. We appreciate.
Whoa.
Where'd he go?
we appreciate you.
Lucas scared him.
We'd like to thank John's a beast as well. John, host of the Detroit Sports Podcast, publisher of All Lions. It's Wednesdays with John Maakaron. You guys know what time it is. Come on, stop playing stupid. You come on, it's Wednesday. Check the calendar. John, come on, John. I mean, we had a busy day today. Just Lions fans in general. Can we assume? And I don't want to like rehash it a ton. I get it. Like people, we kind of been just talking about it. But can we just get your opinion on? He's going to be cut, right? If this is true, let's just say that if what's being accused of him is true, he's no longer a Lion.
Yeah, look, normally it's more festive. We drink beer, but on the stressful nights, we got to drink wine. You got to kind of take it easy. And
the doc seemed a little shallow tonight. Didn't seem high in spirits.
Love it.
I was hoping for the cold
you got to
stone.
kind of ease into it. I was in line at a Starbucks and just wanted to enjoy a Wednesday. It's typically a little bit slower, a little bit after free agency now this week ahead of owners' meetings and the draft. And I see this photo with Cam Sutton, and it's called Warrant Wednesdays. I look at it, I'm just laughing, going, what clown put this out there? And it's fake. And then as more and more people are talking about it, looking at it, I'm like, oh my God, I got to call the police. So I get on the line, and I'm obviously late to the party because they put me on hold for 20 minutes. And, it's the first time for me as a reporter in 5 years addressing a legal problem for a player. The Lions have been pretty, typically have now looked for higher upstanding citizens, and to ask these kind of questions. And basically all I asked was, is this the Lions player? They said, yeah, they confirmed it. And to get the story out there, it's just wild to think of a player that you talked to that was someone I interviewed extensively for a podcast on Detroit Sports Podcast, was so well-spoken, would, really elaborate on a lot of things. To see a player like Cam Sutton, a Lion that was Brad Holmes invested some free agent dollars in, to see this happen. First of all, the police to kind of have a bit, call it Warrant Wednesdays. That's crazy. And second of all, to see, to potentially, when you read more into it, I know you guys have been looking at the details. Me as a therapist, if you guys don't know, the doc moniker is because I do have a license as a psychologist. After doing work with the Lions and stuff, I do have a couple clients I do help mentor and stuff like that. Back in the day, I took all different types of clients and families. The worst, most stressful, what put gray hairs on my head, took away all my hair, was the cases that involved paternity struggles. And when you have two sides that are battling and having the kids in the middle, it was an absolute nightmare. I typically don't deny clients when they call, but if it involves paternity suits or battling with the kids or divorces or things like that, I steer clear because it's so stressful. I saw what it did to people. I saw the impact, the negative impact that it would have on both sides, the way in which two parties would sling mud at each other. It was something I never want to relive. I don't take those kind of clients anymore. And if it's true, if there is a domestic situation, clearly he'll be suspended by the league and his run in Detroit will be over. To me, even though we all believe in the innocent until proven guilty, you haven't heard what happened from the side of Cam Sutton. This is something that got way out of hand and has the potential to be volatile in the future. So to me, there's not a player that's worth that. And when you look at his play and you look at the cap savings you could get if you void the contract, I look at it and say, save the cap, move on, get a better player, and let him work on his life on the side because, hopefully if he's found and everything's okay, he gets his life together. Because if that's what's the case, if it's a paternity thing, he's got to battle to raise a kid and have time. The focus for football needs to be second, third in his life.
Yeah. John, I think all of us here kind of agree with you on that. We had that
Well said,
conversation
John.
earlier. Yeah, very well said. I think we're all on the same page here with that. Kind of looking past it though now, obviously, moving forward, I think we agree that there's probably going to be a cut there or he gets released. Where do you kind of see Brad going from here? Because we talked about it a little bit here, whether we feel like he now changes his draft strategy or does he have to now go look at some vets in free agency? Obviously, you have, Carlton Davis and Meek Robertson, but does that, to us, I mean, at least to me, it doesn't seem like that's going to get the job fully done. Where do you kind of see him going now from here?
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm very curious to see how the Lions do treat this. I think they're going to wait and see, get all the information. First and foremost, we got to find out where Cam Sutton is. It's tough to lend a case that you're innocent when you're fleeing. That's the perception that's out there. And his agent has been kind of quiet, radio silent. So first and foremost, you got to find out where Cam Sutton is and figure out exactly what the details are of what's going on. But when you look at that room, even with Cam Sutton, there was going to be a question mark. People assumed that, okay, maybe he would rebound and be a solid number 2. But, when you look at the contract that he got, I'm not sure he was ever going to live up to it. He really struggled in his first year. So now do you look to guys on the roster, the young Gilmore? I don't think so. I know you guys were debating his brother, Stephon Gilmore. It might be a quick fix, but I think that the best thing to do is to kind of look in the combination of free agency and the draft and add 1 or 2, potentially more. It's an issue that probably now could have long-term ramifications. If the plan was now going into the draft that you could take best player available, now you kind of have a need at cornerback, and you probably do need a number 1. And if you don't want to do it on day 1, I know a player that's ranked maybe a second to third rounder from Iowa State, TJ Tampa, has been mocked a little bit to Detroit. Yeah, has a little bit of a skill set that could, still raw, still has some things to get better at, but I think a player Aaron Glenn would like. I think you got to keep shoring up that position. It was going to be tough with Cam Sutton, and even now, if you get the veteran Gilmore, that position is so tough. You need a lot of good luck, and it's starting off with a little bit of bad luck with the Cam Sutton news.
Yeah, John, and I just wanted to ask you, how confident are you overall with all the moves Brad Holmes has made and like a grade just basically on his off season?
Yeah, no doubt. Real fast, I don't know if you guys saw. I'll probably write it up tomorrow. Hendon Hooker changed his number, got to number 2. He's stealing CJ's number. It's online. I don't know if you guys follow the jersey.
I got the picture here. I wasn't sure if it was legit or not. I was waiting to get.
Yeah, I followed that site. That's the jersey site, baby. Hendon Hooker taking number 2, and people are talking
that's
about
a real thing.
Yeah.
There's a site
there's a jersey Twitter jersey site that they just that's all they do is look at jersey numbers.
Look, I can pull it up here. This is
I didn't know that.
TDing from Booner here. I've got the Hooker 2 there. I was going to post it. I was waiting to post it to get the confirmation. I got the confirmation, so I can post it now. Here we go.
Show it one more time, Boone. I couldn't really see it. Back it up for the people a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, yeah, it looks
like
clean.
It's clean.
I like 2, man.
Trying to get it out of the light there. That light.
I mean, I haven't confirmed it, but I think that site, I follow that site. That's where I usually write stories from. They've never been really wrong. And that's what they do. They focus on jersey numbers. So when you look at Brad Holmes and what he's done, I think he's done a B+ job. To me, I think that, when you look at it in totality, the needs were met. You got guys that fill holes, and you got guys that I think have the makeup of everything that they want. Prove it deals, nothing that's going to be detrimental to the cap, and everything that you see that you would want in a player, guys that, clearly Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell like. So I don't think there's a lot to complain about. I was talking with a lot of people, and I would have did it a little differently, been more aggressive, kind of pushed it a little bit more all in for 2024. I don't care about sustainability. I'm in win now mode, but for knowing what Brad Holmes is doing and his plan and following it, it's a safe, acceptable free agency period. And I think that fans can be definitely encouraged by what the Lions did on the defensive line and adding a couple pieces in the secondary. I'm curious about how the Zeitler move is going to affect the offensive line when you shuffle the pieces around. But I think Brad Holmes has earned the benefit of the doubt from the fan base, and he should be heralded for the moves that he makes. But, the draft is the place where he's going to definitely need probably to step it up again if the Lions are going to be sustainable for the next couple of years. I do believe, why not have confidence he's going to hit in the draft again? If you get 3-4 more players that are impactful with the mix that you got, man, he could actually achieve the goal of sustainability, which is really, really tough to do in the NFL.
Yep.
John, the doc. Always love having you on. Kind of moving it outside of Detroit, but staying within the draft. Minnesota, they traded back into the first round. I believe it was with Houston. With that pick, do you think they're using that solely to have assets to move up for JJ? Or do you possibly think, because you look in that kind of 20 to 25 range, there's a lot of corners, there's a lot of defensive end, a lot of players that the Detroit Lions could use to trade up for. What do you think they're doing trading up for that 20th pick or 20th pick in the 20s?
Yeah, no, I think that's what you're hearing all across the league is people think that JJ's the guy or the quarterback, that's somebody that Kevin O'Connell needs. You look at it and you say Minnesota, and what they've done, they put the league on notice a little bit in terms of what they did pre-draft. And it's interesting too, because are they rebuilding? How are they looking at it? They're losing Kirk Cousins and the moves that they made in free agency. But when you see, it gives them an opportunity. And that's what you need, is you need ammo in case a player that you fall in love with. And most likely, most pundits believe it is for a quarterback. And if it's not JJ, to be one of the others. If you have the opportunity to have enough to move and do what you need, that's all you can ask for from a GM. And that's what these GMs like to do, is to have opportunities that if you have a player that you need and you can make the deal, then you go do it. And, I know people are wondering about the NFC North, and I'm not as concerned about the Vikings or Bears. I'm still definitely thinking that the Packers are the team that are the biggest threat to the Lions. And when you look at it in totality, the Vikings kind of have the inkling of a team that's kind of looking to add a young quarterback with O'Connell. And sometimes when you start a young quarterback, that just means you're going to take a step back for them to acclimate. But man, they have options, and it's something interesting to watch on draft night, especially if they stay there. And what happens if they stay and take one of the players that maybe the Lions like, maybe the offensive lineman, maybe a cornerback, maybe, we'll see about what the future of Justin Jefferson is. Maybe you draft his replacement if he's on the move. So we'll see what Minnesota does. They have options, no doubt.
Yeah. I mean, John, you wrote an article today at All Lions, and people can go check that out. It just kind of speaking about Brad being at the pro day, Alabama's pro day. We talked about it. We talked about Kool-Aid McKinstry a little bit a couple of weeks ago, and I know he was injured, so we didn't get to see him at the combine. I just can't help but think, John, that Brad and his history of Alabama players, I mean, how do you not? I mean, they have tons of talent. I get that. But I'm getting this vibe watching Kool-Aid McKinstry interviews and just the way he approaches the game, his love for the game. Like, he's going to be a guy to me, John, that I can see if the Lions stay put at 29 and he's there. If you want to go with Brad taking the best player available, which is what he does, John, you could make an argument Kool-Aid McKinstry could be the best player available at 29. And I think he'd be a realistic option. What's your thoughts on a guy like that?
Yeah, it's tough to think that he's going to be there. Everybody thinks that you got to trade up for him. Hell, we don't know. Maybe Brad was looking at the kicker. The photo is of the kicker, and more people. When I asked the question online, hey, you liking Kool-Aid? They're like, hey, get the kicker. And I'm like, okay, Kool-Aid's interesting, man. He's unique, and obviously not working out at the combine because of the foot situation. He's going to have surgery, I believe, and it's going to take him out for a month, I think. But you look at it and you say, okay, it's a good player. I think that he would fit. But like I said, the cornerback spot is so tough to develop. There's no true, when you look at outside of Quinyon Mitchell, the guy that just purely is going to lock down somebody. You can throw him out there day one. But man, when you look at the film of Kool-Aid, you just see a player that works hard. It's a good system that he comes from, competitive. And I think that when you see the 4.4 speed, that definitely wowed a lot of people. If he's there at 29, I believe that Brad Holmes, at least today, would have got an up-close look at what he thinks about a talented player. And Brad doesn't go to a lot. He does not go to a lot of these pro days. He sends the scouts, trust what he sees on film. But for him to go there, that means a player definitely he wanted to see. And I'm pretty sure Kool-Aid McKinstry is one of them.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's name is Kool-Aid, John. I mean, it's literally it's like Booner drinking Kool-Aid next to Kool-Aid McKinstry. I mean, we could cook here. You know what I mean?
I'm going to say I'm going to be very disappointed if I don't get an email or reached out to by the Detroit Lions if Kool-Aid McKinstry is a pick. I genuinely I would question whoever's running the social or those teams over there. So
yeah,
I think it's a perfect pick.
Yeah, I agree. John, well, real quick, got a couple minutes, John? It's on
I have one more question, actually.
Right.
I want to throw this out there because we really haven't talked about. We talked about the defense. Tough question. I'm throwing some tough ones out here for you, John. Edge rusher, defensive edge, the end there. There's, at least to me, it feels like they addressed it, obviously. That felt like more of a depth piece. That other guy on the other side of Aiden Hutchinson, and I know the James Houston situation. Do you see them, obviously in the draft, maybe you can address that, or do you see them going after a free agent like Jadeveon Clowney, or how do you think they approach that? Because it does feel like that's kind of that last missing, like, piece there on that Detroit Lions defense. If we're talking about like an infinity stone, it's like that last piece that makes this defense complete is just pairing Aiden Hutchinson up with a dude. And I think the whole Lions fan base is waiting for that.
No doubt about it. Here's what's crazy. I heard the show yesterday and looking at Marcus Davenport and the fact that he is got a lot to prove still. James Houston obviously coming off of the injury. But in the draft, I don't think you go for a Jadeveon Clowney. That dude has been milking his career on those one-year deals for the last couple of years. That dude's been lucky. That dude's been milking $10 million, $15 million deals and still bouncing around the league. But I don't think the Lions are going to look anymore to free agency for the edge spot. I like what I see in the draft. I wrote a piece on Jonah Ellis. I like what he brings to the table. You guys talked about Marshawn Nealon. I think that there's an opportunity in the draft to look at a lot of good players, and maybe you take a chance on a Darius Robinson, Chop Robinson, and see what's out there.
Oh, don't do that now, Doc.
I know you don't like him, but the same token, maybe Chris Braswell. You make a move and you see what you got to do there. You know, but the edge position, I think, is one in which you see that you definitely want to have that shirt up. And James Houston, it's a real interesting look at where he's at. A guy that in his mind believes should be an every down player, but the team still thinks he's raw. And that second year, man, he would have benefited a lot from being out there, but that injury was just killer. And for him, I just think that you can't teach that skill of just being able to sack the quarterback, but he's got to be able to do a lot more in terms of setting the edges in coverage. And so much is so intricate that the position is wild. I say you go for a surefire guy that you think can be a guy that's opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. And boy, if you hit and you build up that pass rush and sack the quarterback at the highest level, man, that would have did wonders for the Lions against the 49ers, against a quarterback that was starting to feel himself a little bit in Brock Purdy. So, man, sure up that position. I'm hoping that you never know. I think Jonah Ellis, when you look at his profile, he's a Dan Campbell guy. He's a hard worker. Yeah. I think he's got what it takes. If you want to look at a day two guy and history with the Lions, that's always something that plays into the factor. But, man, if you want a guy to fall, man, Darius Robinson, that would be amazing.
Let's go. That's what I want.
Darius Robinson. I'm hoping that there's an opportunity for some luck for the Lions to at least get a cornerback or an edge rusher in the first round.
Yeah, can we just avoid James Houston on special teams? I mean, we'll start there. But yeah. You guys are good.
Unbelievable.
More Houston on special teams, please, for the love of God.
But John, I wanted to ask you: do you think with all the offseason additions and obviously AG has kind of had some struggles with the defense over the years, do you think he can finally take the next step in making this team into a top 10 defense going into next year?
Yeah, no doubt. I see in the chat real fast, someone said, would I trade up or trade down? I'm all about aggression. And so for me, if there's the guy that you think you trade up, you sacrifice. Look, you're seeing deals made that involve 2026 picks. I think that there's opportunities to, sacrifice a little bit because you can maneuver around in the draft and get those picks back. So if there's a guy that you love and you think he's the guy in the first round, you trade up. Trading back, I think in Detroit would be a downer with all the people waiting. AG, I think, has to, if he's got the moxie that I think that he does and that he hears all the people complain about him, yeah, his scheme sometimes lacks adjustments and things like that, but he did make the steady progression in my mind in year 3. You saw improved pass rush. You saw blitz. You saw Ifatu Melifonwu emerge. You saw the team be able to take the talent of the players on the roster and fit what they were able to do well. So now if you give them talent, if you give them a couple more pieces, a cornerback that's not so handsy, not getting penalties all the time, you blew out Jerry Jacobs. You're moving on from guys that you don't think can produce. You upgraded from Benito Jones. You bring in a DJ Reader and a Marcus Davenport. You have better talent. You have guys that probably suit the defense better. I do think that probably top 10 without the draft. I don't think they'll get there, even if they add a piece like a Darius Robinson. But I think that they're going to make a progress from 19th at least into the top 15 and be more aggressive and be able to consistently. I mean, yeah, we saw what killed the Lions, and they don't care about giving up the yards and all that. They did shore up the ability to not give up touchdowns. What started to hurt them was the chunk plays, the explosives, when the secondary struggled. So if you can shore up the secondary, not give up the chunk explosive plays, I think that defense had the capabilities that you saw of tightening up when needed. It's a bend, don't break. They did it effectively well, and they pressured the quarterback with the blitz. So I think that and again, you guys know ball, if you can get pressure with just a front four, that makes everything in the back end so much easier. And I do think that Aaron Glenn, probably is taking offense that he's not been named a head coach yet, that he's always looked at as the secondary guy behind Ben Johnson. The guy's competitive. The guy is a gamer. He's competitive, and I think he'll get his defense where he needs to go.
Doc, you kind of brought him up earlier, but Kevin Zeitler, when you look at now that he signed for, I think, just a little bit above $6 million, take the contract out of it. Do you think he's an upgrade as a player over Jonah Jackson heading into 2024 for the Lions?
Man, that's hard to say upgrade. I think it's a professional move when you look at adding a veteran of his capabilities. I think he's solid all the way around. He's a gamer. I think best way to put it, he's a good stopgap, a perfect opportunity while you develop, because clearly you don't think that Sorsdal and Awosika are ready to handle the load. You don't bring in a veteran who's 34 years old into that room unless you think they still need a little bit more time to develop. I think it's hard to say upgrade. I just think it's a professional move. Somebody that you can count on to run block, is experienced, earn the respect of Aleem McNeil. So I think that's a great move. And it allows you some flexibility. I mean, I think Graham Glasgow moving over to the left side is fine. I think that's going to be, look, that offensive line, if they stay healthy, I think they're going to produce at a high level. That's going to be the least of your worries, is the offensive line. The biggest concern is Frank Ragnow and his injury. What a gamer, trying to survive all that. But I think the draft as well, you start to see probably a little bit of some attention given to the draft, because you need some more depth pieces. But the starting five, pretty good, man. It's going to be good. And then you got Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Oh, my goodness, man. The offense, I can't wait to see what they add to it in the draft, because it's already lethal now. You add more to it, my goodness, man. The offensive line is going to be special. And when you look at it, more people need to talk about the work that Hank Fraley does. The man is a grinder, and the man has put together an offensive line for a couple years that has lived up to the billing. It just it's unfortunate, $17 million for Jonah Jackson. That's wild. Rams, screw you. $17 million for Jonah Jackson? Are you kidding me? God, he got paid, but he had some holes in his game too.
Yeah, I mean, guards are just getting paid, man.
A lot of money.
Robert hey, you got Landon Dickerson in Philly making quarterback money from like 10 years ago, John. He's making 20+ million. So, hey, all the guard fans, hey, stand up. You guys are getting paid. John, I want to.
My son's playing guard when he gets older. Well, I don't have a son. So I don't know why. I don't know why I said that. I didn't have a kid.
There's hope. John, I want to ask you, because you kind of alluded to it, and then we'll get to a couple member questions. First, you mentioned the offense. What's the ceiling of this offense, John? Because this has been a top 5 unit with Ben Johnson and the rest of the crew here since he took over as OC. You think they'll remain around that spot, or you think there's maybe another floor they haven't gotten to yet? Do you think this can be a number 1 offense in the NFL? I'll just ask you. And if not, what do they need to maybe get there?
Yeah, absolutely. That toast to the Lions offense, they make you happy.
Shout out.
What was crazy about that offense in 23 was their struggles coming out of halftime. I mean, that third quarter struggle was so crazy to think about, with all that talent, all those weapons, that they just struggled coming out of the half and made some games where they should have won much more easy. It was wild to think about. But guys, just think about this. Jahmyr Gibbs and Sam Laporta are going to be in their second year, and they're already elite as they are. They're going to light it up. And you got Jared Goff building connections with them further. And you're going to have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who definitely probably, when you know his MO, is probably burning to get back out on the field after a stinging, choking loss that you had against the 49ers. You look at it and everything is in place. You got the running game that you want. You got tight ends that you can trust. You got the continuity with the quarterback and Jared Goff. The offensive line is, I think, a unit that will quickly gel if they stay healthy. Can they be the number 1 offense in the league? Absolutely. Why? You guys haven't talked about it a lot, but Jameson Williams, I think if he's competitive, he gives you that explosive target that can be somebody that can open up the offense that much more. Pick your poison. You want to take away St. Brown? Okay, J-Mo will take advantage of, lax coverage. You want to take away the receivers? Fine. Sam Laporta will get 7 receptions and some big yards. Fine. You want to take away the pass game? Jahmyr Gibbs will slice you up. So it's pick your poison. And when you have an offense that with Ben Johnson, and pay attention to what he said, the first year, second year of an offense, they called it 101, 201. You imagine this offense, 401 level, where there's advanced concepts, and credit to Ben Johnson, who's just a wizard. He knows how to use tendencies in such a way that it's magical. It's wizardry. And the blessing that he came back, I don't know if the guy's allergic to money, but he keeps turning down the bag to work with Dan Campbell. I'm like, man, Ben, they're offering you tens of millions of dollars. Take the cash. But you know what? Credit to him. He's loyal. He wants to play with, he wants to coach Jared Goff and learn more from Dan Campbell. There's a little bit of humbleness you got to take where a guy that can have an opportunity 2-3 places stays and says, you know what? I can learn more from Dan Campbell. I can learn more from the assistants. And he's only 37, 38 years old. When he gets a guys, when he lands an opportunity, look out, because I think he'll be one of those guys that lands on his feet with any new opportunity. And he'll be one of those coaches I think will win a Super Bowl ring as a coach. He's got to work on a couple things personality wise, but I think that in the end, when he gets there, my God, that Lions offense is going to be lethal. That is worth the ticket price raise that Sheila put on all you people. Damn, that offense.
Yeah, you ain't lying, John. Let's get to some member questions, and we'll get John out of here. First question comes from Stephen David. What is John sipping on? Which he kind of told us. John drinking some water.
All right.
Look at that.
All right.
Break it down.
I don't know. Okay. I'll share with you guys a little bit of news. Maybe I'm supposed to say it. I'm not supposed to say it. I don't know if you guys have been. I don't know if you guys have. No, it's not nothing crazy. I don't know if you guys have been following information. Yeah. No, I don't know if you guys have been following the drama with Sports Illustrated. There was some behind the scenes stuff going on. It wasn't going to put me in question in regards to my job, but I had a Zoom meeting today, and there's nothing like. And I wish that anybody, and I know you guys have a different situation. There's nothing like when you sit in a Zoom meeting and high level people tell you, damn, the work that you guys are doing at the NFL level is crushing it. Thank you. We want to work with you. We want to work with you. So the transition,
John.
I think the future with the doc and the SI is very bright. So my wife said, you know what? Because there's always a little bit of stress in the media business when there's stuff at the top that you can't control. So I've always focused on doing the work, being available, having fun. And so my wife said, John, you stress your ass out about stuff for no reason. Cheers. And I said, hey, I'm talking to the boys. So I'm sipping on some cherry wine. It's freaking delicious. I'm not really a wine guy, but this shit's great. So I'm just going to keep drinking it. So good news.
Let's go.
Yes, good news.
Come on, John.
Yes, good news, hopefully. And if you read the details, 10-year relationship with an opportunity for 30. I've only had one job in the media. It might be my last. It might be it might be my career landing spot. You never know.
You deserve that shit, John. You deserve it.
Yeah, the hardest working man in this business, John.
It's crazy. I might be at one job my whole life. And guys, look, I don't want to toot my own horn, but look,
toot it. Let's go.
I'm going to toot it. The All Lions site has done well in 5 years, and I've believed in marketing it well. You see me on Twitter. I'm like an animal. And, you know, articles for days, videos for days, podcasts for days, and just the support that you guys give and others. I'm shocked that people read my shit. I'm just a podcaster, but the people read it and they enjoy it. And I'm so proud to be part of the Lions community on a small level. But for someone to just say, hey, we invested in SI because we see the NFL product and what the hell you guys are doing. It's a priority. We think it's important. It's important to me to do good work. And it was good to me to partner with my friends that helped me out and make sure the site looks respectable, because you're competing against hardcore journalists. And for me, it's one thing to get a job. It's another thing to land, to keep it. And I've always prided myself in developing the relationships, and to see the future with what you guys got going on and the digital sphere, to just be a small part of it. I'm just so happy that podcasts are now respected at the level that they are. And I started in 2013. I had to beg the Lions to consider the podcast a media outlet, with me telling them, guys, it's going to be popular. I have emails that said, guys, podcasts are coming. It's going to be media. Please let me in. And when they finally did, and to work with SI as a podcaster. It's a blessing, and it's an opportunity to be very appreciative to be in this space and where I've gotten it. And man, I just hope everybody gets the chance to hear meetings like I had today. It was eye-opening. It was crazy. I'm just going to keep drinking, and I might just
John.
Cheers, John.
John.
Cheers. I've got my water bottle here. Cheers.
That's honestly, John. Now I'm all fired up, John. Now I'm fired up. I got the boys fired up. Come on.
I do want to set the record straight, because the media tells one little side of the story. Why would investors invest in SI if it was dying? It was never dying. It was never dying, guys. When John Maakaron was part of your project, SI was never dying, ever. It was never dying. Okay, the numbers bear out. It was never dying. All it was a high-level business negotiation that went on. It was never going to go away. And as long as John Maakaron's part of something, it will never fail. Ever. It will not fail.
Let's go, John.
Look at that shit, John.
You sound like Dan Campbell right now.
Fail. I promise you, it's not going to fail.
I love that. Cheers
the
to
Dan
you, John.
Campbell guy if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, John, check. He checks that Dan Campbell.
Brad trading up from 29 to 20 just to say the dot.
Yeah,
okay, you want to hear another funny inside story? It's funny because the best part of working with a team, the blessing of running a site, is I control every facet of that site. All the story ideas, all the headlines, they come from me. But when you work with editors and they go with story ideas, and yesterday I was just chatting, and we always like sit around a little bit and just talk about topic ideas. One of the older editors is like, Doc, I got a great idea. Dan Campbell is so personable. Why don't you ask the PR guys if you can sit with Dan on draft day and take notes? And I'm
flattered.
I tried not to laugh. I tried to be professional, but I can share with you boys, the Lions may do that, but never in a million fucking years would they let me sit with Dan Campbell on draft day because of the things I write. And I was like, guy, do you read the shit I write? Come on, man. I'm like, Dan Campbell is not going to be sitting with the doc on draft day. Brad Holmes is not going to be giving me inside secrets. But I thought the idea was so funny that if you boys want to reach out to them and see if they'll let you do it, maybe
let me get next to Dan. I'll make sure I'm
go report, but because the doc is not going to sit with Dan Campbell. That's not my MO. I'm more of like critiquing and riling it up a little bit. But that was so funny to me that sometimes the outside opinions I hear, I just can't take because they don't know exactly my situation. So it's kind of funny.
It's like that thing. Like, who would you send to fight the aliens? Like, we'd send Boone. Like, Boone would be our guy to go fight, go attack, go hang with Dan Campbell. That'd be our guy there.
That would be.
Wait,
yes.
Is it you, Booner? Who's the Brad Holmes is king god and drink his bathwater? Is that you, Booner? That you're hey, Brad Holmes is my king. Brad Holmes is my king.
Brad, I'll say this. I've never said I'll drink his bathwater, but he is the king. I will say him and Dan Campbell are both his king. I would like to know who's the one saying the bathwater. I would like to meet someone.
Boone, Boone, you might drink Dan Campbell though. Yeah. Come on, you might.
Dan Campbell.
Because listen, the Booner path and doing that kind of stuff will get you a little more access. But I just found it funny that they thought that I was more of the guy that was going to be the inside guy to get into the room. I may even ask it just to get the denial, to be cute about it. But the funniest things I've done was when he fired the defensive backs coach last year, the cornerbacks coach. And I asked him, I said to Dan Campbell, I said, Dan, there was some miscommunication with you and the defensive coaches. Why didn't it get fixed in the game? He looked at me like he gave me a death stare. He goes, that's why we made the changes. And he was so mad. I was like, hey, why don't you make the changes in the game that you're losing? Great, you fired the guy, but in the end, you got to kind of make the adjustments there. And so, listen, I can't just be the guy. I ask a mix, positive, but sometimes you got to ask the direct question, like, why is this stuff happening? Because sometimes I'm blessed in that I have an opportunity to do other stuff as well. But I think sometimes the direct questions got to be asked, and I'm not scared to ask it. But Dan, at times, you notice when I'm asking the question, because he'll give elaborate answers, and then when my question comes, it's like 5 words long, and he's like, "Next."
You know what, John? They have to have you on like a hit list.
Yeah, I know it.
Which honestly, and I'll say this, I don't give a damn how it sounds. Every media market needs a John Maakaron.
You got to.
I think
for sure.
I hate, you can't suck their ass the entire. I mean, you need someone that needs to be objective.
Exactly.
Come on, let's be real.
Exactly. I prided myself on being somebody that is a fan that would say, and I should write down the questions more and prepare a little bit more, but I always went with the attitude of, if I think it, then a large number of people are probably thinking it too, and I just ask it. And I don't care if they get mad at me. I don't care if they're one of the people that says, "Oh, Doc said this," or "You said that," or try to prove me wrong. It's all part of the game. And I just don't want to be the guy that when you see in the chats or things that said, "Hey, you're asking softball questions." I don't want to do that. I just want to ask some direct questions, and I just want to see how these things get addressed, because there were some issues with the third quarter stuff that got talked about. And sometimes it is tough to find that delicate balance, because you do want to get some insightful answers. And you can, but you got to ask it a certain way. And I'm learning. I'm only in my 5th year doing it. So I'm looking forward to hopefully this 6th year to see what I can bring to the table. Mike, you want to know, can I read? Bro, look at all these books. Come on, bro.
Hey, I
thought he was talking about me for a second.
Yeah, me too. I was like, "Oh, Mike, what did you do?"
Bro, John, I know you can read. Don't come
top to bottom. I read every book behind me, top to bottom. I read about hour and a half every single day, and you got to, man. There's so much information. You guys are catching up. I think something, and Booner's already posted it. I'm like, holy shit, Booner. Goddamn. Hey, Booner. Are you getting late or something? Every time I'm online, you're online with me.
Hey, I'm working over here, John.
Come on, man. Stay off the internet a little bit. You got to have a little bit of balance.
I'm working over here, John. I'm trying to get my foot in. I'm getting in the game here. I'm working.
Yeah, Booner the insider.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I need to let all the other insiders, hey, there's someone else in town here. His name's Booner.
Yeah.
But Booner Pat is here. Water. Get off.
Right. Oh, well, John, I would say that, John, I think you're going to come in as a heavy favorite next year to be called out in Brad Holmes' end of the year presser. I think you're coming in as like a minus 500. To be honest.
Here's the blessing of that, which is great. Carlos asks even worse questions than I do. So it's great because he'll be like, why? And he'll just ask the questions that he asks. So he's got the reputation. He's the heavyweight champ. I respect him for the game. He's outside of, I know he gets a bad rap, but he's truly a nice individual. One of the few that's taken the time to talk to me. We always talk about golf, and it takes some chutzpah to stand up in front of somebody and ask them some direct questions like why or things like that. So listen, I know Carlos gets a lot of hate, but he's a true journalist and he does his job pretty well. He's an opinionist. So he's not the worst. He's just somebody that he goes into it with his story started, and he needs the answer to the question. And there should be more of him in the media because of the fact that, remember, and I truly believed it, journalism is finding stuff that people don't want to talk about. That's true journalism. The rest of it, they call it, it's just PR. So in my mind, Carlos is one of the best. And the problem is that he's got that reputation. He takes a lot of heat. But if you read his stuff, it's opinion-based, and he uses the quotes to support his opinions. And more people should do it. But maybe, you could frame the question in a little different way.
John, I got one more member question, and then we'll get you out. Man, John, we appreciate it. I mean, we've been here for almost an hour. I know it's out of your time, taking time out of your day, John. We appreciate you. Brandon asked, John, biggest impact free agent, DJ Reader or Kevin Zeitler?
Yeah. Oh, we've had that debate too. I think we had the debate on the Detroit Sports Podcast. Was it DJ Reader or Carlton Davis? But between those two, I think the impact more is going to be DJ Reader. You look at what he can do to unlock Aleem McNeil. Oh my goodness. And DJ Reader, I thought, had the swagger where he said, you guys remember when I tore my quad back in 2020, the season I had the season after, he'd look out. So I think that he's going to have an impact. Him and Aleem they're going to end up getting a nickname. They're going to become famous. And I think that they're going to do some damage and they're going to have some fun celebrations. Zeitler's good, key veteran, but biggest impactful free agent. I think, you know what? Who's going to run on the Detroit Lions defensive line? Nobody, because of DJ Reader.
No question. Appreciate you, John. Thank you so much.
Real quick.
Yep.
John, did you say him over Carlton Davis as well? I'm just kind of interested on your opinion on that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that it's close. I think Carlton Davis, is going to fit a role. I think he's going to help out quite a bit. But I think when you add to a strength that you already got in terms of run stuffer, oh my goodness, I think DJ Reader is going to, if he's got that, if he gets back by the start of the season, it's going to be all good. And guys, don't ever worry. Time is for you guys is great. I have a good time. And I never want to bounce. I listen, this is what I got into the field to do, was to sit around and talk and do podcasts. And that's why I started Detroit Sports Podcast. It wasn't because I was an eloquent writer. I pay people to help me do that. I felt truly my skill was to use knowledge, to just be myself and to share information and talk shit with the boys. So this is what I live to do. The writing part is fun and that pays the bills, but the podcasting stuff is truly, I could probably do this for 24 hours, 48 hours and talk about everything. That's what I got into this. Bro, you guys look at it every Thursday when you see the numbers and you see episode 559 this week that comes out, boys, 559 straight weeks, straight every single Thursday for the last 11 years. My dumbass voice has been doing shit through the airwaves, straight through children, marriage, all kind of shit every Thursday, no stop, no break. Every Thursday, I put out a podcast talking Detroit sports beginning in 2013. I love doing this and to see what you guys are doing with it digitally. Like I said, you guys have helped me out, inspired me to do more, put myself out there. So keep grinding, keep doing it. Don't ever hesitate. If you got a question and you say it's time's up, ask it. I don't care. I will put this as a priority over anything going on. No doubt.
I've asked a lot of questions. I'm always asking questions.
Yeah. No, the actual goat.
Okay, I gotta ask. Gucci, you getting late too? You look happy too. You're always smiling, happy. It sounds like you're doing your thing. You staying monogamous? You believe in monogamy?
Me?
Yeah, he said
yeah, of course, John. Yeah, of course. I got my wonderful lady.
Okay, listen.
Of course. I've been with her now.
A lot of 20-year-olds. A lot of 20-year-olds don't believe in it, man. A lot of 20-year-olds coming in cheating in my office going, oh, I can't stay with one girl. I can't stay with one guy. I was like, man, these kids don't do monogamy anymore.
Yeah, but I think it's just that's like
I didn't even know what monogamy was.
I think that's part 2024, but also part. I look at it like this: if you're gonna constantly seek something, I don't know if you'll ever be fulfilled. Like I've found what I'm looking for, so I'm cool. Some guys find it and they're like,
he's definitely getting laid tonight after that. Jeff's getting laid tonight after that one for sure. Hey, I see what you did there. He's giving Jeff good PR. John's giving you a layup.
Once you find it, boys, and John, you know this.
Yeah.
Once you find it, you hold on to it.
I'm just gonna be honest. I didn't know what monogamy was until a couple weeks back, so I've learned that recently.
Okay,
yeah, Booner.
but I respect that immensely, Jeff. That's very respectable. But I'm a big fan of Coming to America, and I'll get out of here on this. When the dad said the advice to the son, the number one thing was, go to America, sow your royal oats. You got to get it out of your system, boys, because it's there. I had a strong engine at Michigan State. Sow those royal oats and then get married. So don't put no ring on it. Sow those royal oats. Have a good time with it, boys.
Hey, that's for the fellas. Let the fellas cook there. John, you're the GOAT. We appreciate you. You can find John, publisher of All Lines. We'll have all the links always like we have in the description. And you can check out his, like he said, consistent 500 plus weeks. John, I mean, come on. Episodes.
Insane.
Check it out.
The
podcast will be in the description as well. John, we appreciate you. We'll catch you next Wednesday, my man. Take care.
I can't wait. Thanks, boys.
Appreciate you, John.
John Maakaron, the doc. Look at that.
What an interview. That was unbelievable. I loved that.
Hey, he was putting me on the seat right there, man, at the end.
Oh, for sure. For a second, I thought he was coming to me, and I was like, what's monogamy?
Did he say juicy or did he say Gucci?
Gucci,
He said juicy.
I'll tell you, Gucci.
That was
Juice, I
awesome.
was like, hey, because as soon as he said monogamy, I'm like, hold on, I think I'm getting added here. I think this is at me. But no, John is the man. He is definitely one of the just coolest, down to earth, realest human beings I've ever met. And I know the boys, you guys, ever since he joined the pod, it's just perfect. It's like a match made in heaven. I mean, we just had a conversation for an hour and it felt like it went by in like 10 minutes.
That was an hour.
Dude, John is a legend.
Wow.
I reach out to him all the time too, trying to do all of this stuff, tweeting stuff out. He gives me a ton of advice. Like there's people within like this game that we're doing, and we've had a lot of experiences, obviously, of our own here at other places, to where some people don't want to help people, some people are just how people act. John he's a good person in this industry who he'll help with anything. He's an absolute legend.
Yep.
500 weeks is insane. Congrats, Jeff and Doc.
Yeah, that's wild. Even David, Italian reference, I think, for Gucci. I mean, Gucci is it's Italian, so maybe that's a new one. I've been called all types of nicknames. I guess throw that
Gucci
one.
man.
No, you don't have to add the main in there. It's already taken. It's already taken. Well, fellas, we'll continue the combo here. I know I've asked John about this Lions offense. Like, I want to ask you guys, because Ben's back. We just assumed they'll be tops. I mean, what, the floor? Probably top 6, top 7, I think.
Top 5.
Okay. Now I ask you, what's the ceiling? I'll flip it on you. Is this number 1 offense brewing up? Like he's cooking something. Is it number 1?
I think it's going to be number 2. I think this one's
Who's
tough
one?
because
Who's one?
I think Miami repeats, but the one that I think they're going to be really close with all year is Houston. I think Houston's going to have a really good offense. I could see Cincy having a really good offense. So I think they're going to be 2 to 4, but their floor is 5. Like maybe Philly gets their spark back.
Boys.
But I still don't even see that happening.
Boys.
Maybe KC goes and gets a real wide receiver, but they're a lot top 5 offense.
Yeah. Before Booner goes, I was going to say the same thing. It kind of, as long as you continue to control the run game, the offensive line stays healthy, there's no way they're not top 6, top 5. So, Booner.
I think Boone's
it is, Jeff, I don't know why you said 8, 9, whatever it is. The Detroit Lions offense is a lock to be a top 5. They've been a top 5 offense for back-to-back seasons already. They bring everyone basically back outside of Josh Reynolds and Jonah Jackson. Can I just read this for you guys? Because there's actually a chance that this is a number 1 offense in the NFL. Like I see Lucas saying maybe the Dolphins repeat. The Lions gave them a run for their money this year. Amon-Ra St. Brown, first team All-Pro. Sam Laporta, second team All-Pro. Penei Sewell, first team All-Pro. D-Mont and Gibbs, 2 Pro Bowlers. Jared Goff, Pro Bowler. Frank Ragnow, All-Pro. And it just keeps going. You add it to, like, I don't see how this is a situation. This is the best offense in the NFL. Like, on paper, if you break it down, obviously you would love for them to add a piece, give us another piece in the draft just to solidify it. This is potentially the best offense on paper in the NFL when it comes to awards, all pros, Pro Bowl, all of that. And on top of that, you have a guy, Ben Johnson, running this offense, who's the best OC in the NFL probably and should be a head coach in the NFL. But said, hey, boys, I'm coming back. We're running 3 straight back-to-back top 5 offenses. We're going to have the best in the league, and we're going to go win a Super Bowl while we're doing it. You guys see what you guys catching my, you see what I'm saying here?
Let's go, Boone.
We're aligned.
Why
We're
not?
aligned, Boone.
Why not us?
Why not?
Why not us?
I will say, Boone. Although I don't disagree with anything you said. What I meant was the floor would be like top 6. Like I'm saying if every. Okay, that's okay. Then move it up a spot.
Floor is top 5. They're going back to back.
Don't be scared, Jeff. Don't be scared.
I meant like floor as in like the worst case scenario, like freaking everything hits the fan. They're not leaving the top 5. Then we'll say top 5 then. But yeah, I'm with you boys. I think if we're talking world of land, J-Mo, if J-Mo has the type of year we think he can.
Oh my gosh.
And Jared, another year in the system, fellas. Can't forget about that. Another year in the system. I mean, at this point, everyone on that offense can basically just go through it without even looking. I mean, it's just effortless. Now it's just, you don't have to, it's less thinking, more just acting. Yeah. Just go and do it. I think them boys going to be top 2, not 2. I think.
You think they're going to be 1?
I think they might mess around and get a dub.
Here's the reason I push back. I look at the defenses in the NFC North and how they've improved, and I look around the defense around the AFC East, and I just look at what Miami did. And if Devon A-Chain stays healthy, and then if you look at the defenses in the AFC South, man, CJ Stroud is going to go ballistic this year. Nico Collins, Joe Mixon, Dalton Schultz, Tank Dell. That's going to be a top 3 offense. And then Cincy, even if they don't get a running back, like Chase Brown isn't bad. And I think Joe Burrow is going to go crazy this year. I don't think they're going to be number 1, but is that bad? No. And especially because the defense is improved. They don't need the offense to be as good. If this defense upgrades, they're not going to be needing to get in as many shootouts. They can control the ball more, keep it on the ground with Dave Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, which wins you games. Yes, it's not as sexy on the stats as far as total number 1 offense, but you're going to be winning a lot more games.
I get too, Lucas, what you're saying. Like, there's other offenses who are going to put up numbers. Like, even the 49ers, they have a bunch of big-time names. I'm sure they're going to do again what they did last year. There are definitely offenses who are going to compete with the Bengals. I get that. The Lions are one of the only teams, maybe with the Dolphins, who are in this consideration the last 2 or 3 years, like consistently, to where every year it's good. Like, they're going to have a chance to get up there at the top. That's why I think the floor, it's top 5. But there's a chance they're going to sit there and compete with those teams. And if you, again, and I could be wrong, if you just put down each depth chart on the offense of players that have all pros, Pro Bowlers, experience, everything like that, this Lions team is up there with every single team offense in the NFL. And then you just cherry on top, Ben Johnson. Yeah, I get the defenses in the NFC North. I just think, I just think they're going to score on anyone. They can go up against a good defense. They're going to go put up 20 points. They can score on anyone. What's going on over there, boys? Was there a funny comment?
I
want to read it. Lunch lady. That is a good one. Oh man, dude, mess with your hair a little bit. Move it around a little bit.
Hey, what are you moving around? Hey,
like, is there a hairnet on there? Unprove his point real quick.
Hey, what am I, a sex symbol? I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, come on.
That. You're the only one crowding yourself that.
I know.
Is there a hairnet on your head?
Another team's offense that I think is going to have a bounce back year. I don't care about Jeff's hairnet, but I think the Eagles, obviously with the addition to Saquon Barkley, and I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a bounce back year. I think their offense is still being kind of slept on after the year they had. But Jeff, back to your hairnet.
Wait, to be honest, Gentry, real quick, to be honest.
Oh yeah, go.
That might be the best team on paper in the NFL, offensively, is the Eagles.
Yeah,
that they are stacked offensively. I didn't even think.
I would argue the 49ers.
49ers as well.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
With Saquon, that offensive line, Jalen Hurts, Dallas Goedert, AJ Brown.
Yeah,
that's tough, dude. That's a good.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be real. Jalen Hurts, what Jalen Hurts is 22 TDs, 22 passing TDs, probably 23.
Hey, did you see Dak's brother called Jalen Hurts a running back?
Oh, that's okay. That's bad.
I saw his brother trending,
but
that's probably why.
Jesus.
I didn't know what it was though.
Hey, by the way,
did say that Goff is a level above Stafford though.
Shout out Lions Den, LFG, always a great show. It's like talking sports with your buddies, but they actually know their shit. Well, Lions Den, we appreciate you, brother. Thank you. That's kind of the goal for the show. So the fact that he said that, it's super important there. Adam says Eagles will blow. Okay, that's aggressive.
Yeah, no, Eagles will win the division. They'll win that division.
Yes. They're definitely better than Dallas. Commanders went out and got all their 30-year-old veterans to round up the troop one more time and give it one last hurrah, 8-9 season. And I'm pretty sure that the Giants aren't going to draft an offensive weapon and they're going to draft a quarterback. So, yeah, that's going to happen. So, without a doubt. You have Vic Fangio. That's an instant, at least, top half of the league defense. And look at the players that they have on that front seven still. Absolutely not. Ignorant.
Can I throw something out there real quick? The Commanders
don't go at Adam.
Get Jaden Daniels. And I'm not going to, this isn't going to be a confirmation. This is going to be like, this is a pre-statement, because then as the season gets closer, we'll see what happens more often. Let's say Dallas gets third in the NFC East, boys, and the Commanders get second.
No.
How about that?
Wrong.
All right, I'm just saying again. This is a pre-thought. This is a pre-thought.
Yeah. We're spitballing. We're just spitballing.
Yeah, we're just spitballing, right? I thought this was a brainstorming session. I didn't know we were actually doing a show yet.
But here, Booner,
are we live?
I'm going to say this.
You're
Are we
not
live?
crazy. You're not crazy. You're not crazy because Dallas. Who do they listen? Who do they have
Talk
at
to me
running back
nice.
right now?
Talk to me
Who do they
nice.
have at running back right now?
I don't
You
know.
know who they have, Lucas.
Rico Dowdle, baby. And who's he
Hey,
running
no one
behind?
knows.
They'll draft
Who's he
a
running
rookie.
behind?
They'll draft a
Go
running
ahead.
back and he'll be fine.
Draft a rookie. They'll be fine. And then they're not running behind Tyron
Wrong.
Smith anymore. They just lost Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
You talk about a CeeDee Lamb injury. You talk about a Dak injury. They're an injury away from a three-game spin.
I don't
Washington.
even want to sit here and be like Dallas is going to. No, I'm not going to do that. But what I'm not going to do is say the Commanders will anything. All right.
Well,
Now, listen here. So you just
fair.
said Eckler. Hey, come over here. I call him Mr. 3.5 yards per carry. It's what he did last year. He comes
He's
in.
shitty.
Okay, Eckler, big addition. Austin Eckler, Jaden Daniels, Cliff Kingsbury is OC. Dan
Well,
Quinn
wait.
is
Don't sweep.
Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin. Why don't you just not leave out the biggest names on that offense there, Jeffrey Iafrate?
Hey, okay.
I forgot
hey,
your
hey,
middle
they
name
nice,
for a
they nice,
second.
They nice. I'll give you that nice.
Hey, that secondary
And
still
then they have Dan Quinn, who puts a great defense
Emmanuel
together,
Forbes.
and they just brought in a bunch of defensive players.
Don't do that.
Don't slide that
Don't
in
do
there.
that,
Do not
Jeff.
slide Emmanuel Forbes in there, bro.
Emmanuel Forbes.
Feels like Lucas sliding
Emmanuel
Joe
Forbes,
Mixon in
hey.
there.
Hey, you gonna see. You gonna see.
Adam's
this
in
year,
the chat right now.
You gonna
I would
see.
love. Adam said they're lucky to win 6 games. Let's make the line right now, Adam. If you're listening, which I know you are, I don't know why I said that. Let's make the line 5.5. Over under 5.5. I get the over. You get the under. Let's make the bet. You get 5 and under. I get 6 up. I bet you they win 6 plus
I think
games.
they're a 7-win team this year, Boone.
Make the
7
bet with
wins.
me, Adam.
You think they're second in the NFC East with 6-7?
No.
Maybe not
No.
second. I'm not saying second,
They're
but I think they
not
at
that
least win. They're at least going to win 6 games. 6 games.
They'll be
for
better than the
Commanders.
Giants.
He said deal. I don't. We'll talk about what the deal is, but I can't wait to tell the people the
Well,
deal.
Boone.
Yep.
You got what you cooking for? What you cooking for March Madness? You got to talk to me here. Like get to some
Yeah.
bets and then we'll get the mailbag. What you got?
So this is tough, boys. I don't have like.
What
I'm
do you
just
got?
looking here real quick because I'm going to make a bet tonight. I have a couple ideas of what I want to do here, and I want to go around the room here too and get everyone's kind of picks and who they're taking because you guys
Oh.
do need to do your guys' brackets as well. And I know you guys might not be college basketball guys,
I
but
did mine.
I did do mine as well, and I'm going to throw it out there. I had the team on top winning it all. UConn plus 370. I'm taking it. It's crazy because there hasn't been a back-to-back winner in college basketball since like Gentry. I could be wrong. Was it 2006-7 when Florida went back-to-back, or 7-8 or something like that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Florida team was the last one to go back to back, and that team was loaded. They had like
Loaded.
Horford, Joakim Noah, like Corey Brewer. I'm pretty sure they had a loaded
Yes.
team.
Corey
Stacked.
Brewer.
Good days.
Dog.
I don't know if you guys have watched college basketball this year. I started the last about month when football ended. UConn is just a powerhouse, dude. Like
Yeah.
the fact they're plus 370 to win the tournament alone is insane. On top of that, dude, they've lost 3 games all year. And it was to Seton Hall, who should be in the tournament, got snubbed. Kansas, who's in the tournament, and Creighton, who has a chance, or actually a really good chance to go into the Final Four this year. So I think UConn, like they are just, it's one of those things to where typically you're like, I don't want to take the favorite. I don't want to take the number one overall seed of the whole tournament. And I don't want to take the team that's going to go back to back because it doesn't happen. They're just that good. It's one of those things where a lot of people might actually fade them because they don't want to see the back-to-back, that whole thing. Take them. They're going to win this tournament. If I had to take someone else outside of that,
Take the heels.
the Tar Heels, maybe I would say. I think there's a situation, and I have North Carolina and Arizona in my Elite Eight. I don't know if you guys remember the Final Four a couple years ago with North Carolina, and they had Caleb Love. Caleb Love has transferred, and he's at Arizona now. I actually have Arizona beating North Carolina to go to the Final Four versus former team. So I do have that. I don't really the biggest bet I'm going to take is UConn, probably plus 370. Gentry, did you have any more? I want to look at some Final Four bets here real quick for the people as well.
Yeah, I just have a 3-legger. It's plus 2,500. It's 3 different teams to make the Elite Eight, and one of them being North Carolina, Kentucky, and then Iowa State. I think those 3 teams kind of have a favorable matchups leading them into the Elite Eight. So kind of just a nice little future bet. And you know, $10.
2,500.
Yeah, so if you put $10 on
Great
it, it
one.
wins you $250, whatever your unit size is. But going big here.
I'm trying to. This is tough. I haven't made I'm about to make my bracket tonight and go through it. I don't know, boys. I mean,
What?
Boone, I'm kind of trusting you right now, you and Mike. I mean, so I haven't
we
been
do,
watching college basketball. I mean, I'll watch games, but I'm not. Oh, my gosh.
Oh wow. Whoa, Mike.
Great name, Mike.
Woo!
Great.
Mike,
Dog.
Oh,
Mike, you sexy son of a
Lucas
bitch.
died.
Beautiful.
Mike, we appreciate you. He says, thank you for the $50. My goodness. He says, love Adam, Jeff, and the boys. Can't wait to see the reunion one day. It's coming. P.S. The first and second pick have to be instant impact ability in NFL draft. My choice is Leggett, real wide receiver 2 in the draft. He's the sole reason Rattler will be drafted. He's not wrong, and honestly, there.
Hey,
He's not wrong.
let him take the
Jesus.
microphone and spit for a little bit.
Hey, Mike. Appreciate you, Mike. That's
Shout out.
great. Not only did he donate to the fellows, but he spit some facts in there too, which is like, that's just, come on.
Leggett
Boys,
at
we'll be honest,
29.
I don't have a winner. I didn't make my decision yet. So
Oh,
let me
no,
cook tonight,
Jeff.
and then I'll come back tomorrow. I'll be better.
I'm gonna give 2 real quick. Let me do this then. Let me give out a couple picks here then, and this is more so for teams to go to the Elite Eight. So it's basically this weekend and then win one game next weekend. It's similar to Gentry's here. I'm just gonna go straight up bet though. I'm gonna go plus 205 if you want to do this. Get your notebooks out, get your pad and paper out, open your notes app, get ready. I'm gonna give you 3 bets that are all gonna hit here. All 3 of these teams will be in the Elite Eight, playing with a chance to go to the Final Four. First one, it's gonna be Creighton. Creighton, they're absolute out of the Big East. Creighton is going to go out there and they're going to go to the Elite Eight. I don't know if they go to the Final Four. I don't know. Wouldn't be shocked if they did. I have Creighton in the Elite Eight plus 205, boys. Another one here, and I think Gentry had this. Another one. Don't get me into my what's his sketch bag. Another one, brother. Give me Kentucky. Give me Kentucky to go to the Elite Eight plus 235. Plus 235, fella. That's crazy. And last one here, this is the lowest of them all. Iowa State. They're going to play. It's going to be Iowa State and UConn in the Elite Eight. One of the best games of the tournament. It's going to be an amazing game. I love Iowa State. Look, I know they lost in their conference tournament, but they're dogs over there. They're dogs. Plus 146, Iowa State to go to the Elite Eight as well. Jeff?
It's fact.
Boone, real quick. Where'd the Iowa State, was that last couple of days? Have you been an Iowa State guy? Where'd that come from? How recent was that?
Actually, recently. I didn't even know, to be honest, until about a month ago that Iowa State had a good ball club over there, but their coach, they've turned the thing around the last couple of years, actually. He's been a good coach over there. I don't know his name, but he's short. He's got a nice little comb over, shaves the sides. I know exactly what he looks like. Don't remember his name, though. Good guy. Good guy.
That's fair.
Lukas Klotz.
Booner, thank you for dedicating your time. I know you're a busy man with this bracket
Always.
challenge. You got the bracketology going on. You're looking at all the conference championships. Busy time in your schedule.
Oh, yeah.
Who do you think is the one team in this bracket that you are keeping your money away from? Who are you fading the most in this tournament?
Great question. Great question.
Do you guys want to know? I'll give you a 1 seed as well.
Yes. That's why I asked the question. Yep.
The Purdue Boilermakers and the fraud Zach Edey over there, the 7'11", 7'13" inches guy. Stay away from that man, Zach Edey and the Purdue. They're frauds, absolute frauds.
Thank you for your time, Booner. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I as well. We could do mailbag. I should try and find like a game tomorrow that like take the underdog. I'm gonna do that real quick because they're
Booner. So wait, did you say who your winner was of your bracket?
UConn.
Oh yeah, UConn. Yeah. All right. Yeah. For mine, I think I have Tennessee. Obviously, Lukas and Jeff haven't figured those out, and I seen King Horse comment it. We do have a bracket challenge. It's on our Twitter. You just got to retweet and like it and whatnot, and then enter your bracket. So and it's for 4 free Tigers tickets. So you might as well
pull her up real quick, Jeff, if you can.
Yeah, pull it up one more time, Jeff.
I got you. So far,
Jamie, pull it up for her real quick.
JB.
Jamie, can you get that for me?
Jamie. Yeah, man, that's funny as hell. Here we go. Here's the bracket challenge on our Twitter or X, whatever the hell you want to call it. Fuck, screw it all. At official CT Pod, we just put it up again. The person that has the best looking bracket when the dust settles, when it's all said and done, you get 4 free Tigers tickets. So I mean, hey, you and maybe 3 of your lady friends. I don't know what your situation is, or maybe you and the boys, or bring your parents, maybe your siblings. There's a lot of options there for you. So please, all you got to do is retweet the tweet follow, subscribe to YouTube. And a couple of you guys, or most of you, are doing 2 of these. So really, all you got to do is retweet and fill out a bracket for
compete
some
with
of you.
us. Try and beat
And
me.
No
get-
money
yeah,
involved. Win some tickets. We're not taking your money. We just want your guys' support. That's all.
Yeah, it's fun. If we said we do some of these giveaways, first place gets those. We will be doing more, giveaways just strictly for members, for all YouTube subscribers, all followers. So we're gonna get in our giveaway bag here. Now that we're getting cooking now. So yeah, we'll get to mailbag. So I wanted to get that out the way. Appreciate you for reminding me, Lucas. That's important. So everyone who just found that, there you go. Check it out on our Twitter. First question, that guy up north, Mailbag. Can Booner raise the section of the pitcher over his left shoulder so that the backboard aligns? Wow, this is like, sometimes I get a little bit of OCD too. I didn't notice it.
Yeah, that's OCD for sure.
I
I'm
think
going
that's
to
how
work
it's
on the whole back. What?
Isn't that how it's? Oh wait, can Booner raise the section of the pitcher over his left shoulder so the backboard
the
aligns up in the middle?
Backboard's like
section?
disconnected right there. Yeah.
You got to raise it.
I like that
Yep.
picture though, Boone.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you. I'm gonna revamp my if anyone has any ideas or anything, shoot me some DMs or throw some ideas in the chat for new background here. I'm gonna get some things, maybe hang some stuff up, put some shelves up. Do a few
Randy,
things.
1 second. I wanted to bring that one up. Randy, I'll make an exception for you. You put your bracket in, you're subbed on YouTube. You're good to go. You're good to go.
Randy, we got you.
You're my exception.
Yeah.
Shout out Randy, man.
Yeah. Randy
Doesn't work for everyone. Just you, Randy. Keep that between you. No one else heard
Gentry's
that.
the council of the bracket challenge.
Yeah. You got to. We send them all to Gentry for approval there.
No, they don't
No,
make the cut.
Yeah.
Dude, someone
Turning them around.
someone entered a bracket and said Booner's baby mama. I'm interested who that was. I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe it's your
Do
baby.
you have
mama.
you have a BM, Booner?
A what?
Do you have a BM, a baby mama sitting out there that we don't know about? A little Booner running around?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, maybe
I'm not worried about the baby mama. I'm worried about the baby Booner. Like that dude is
sipping
probably.
Kool-Aid somewhere.
A lot of
think
people
they
say
put it
that
in
to
a
me. I don't
state
know.
asylum.
I feel like a little Booner.
What do you
would
mean?
be
A lot
pretty
of
cool.
people say what? That you got a baby mama?
No, like a mini me.
Oh, I mean, do you? I don't know.
No,
Don't-
but like
you
that's like
donate
a
your sperm one
conversation that
time
like
or something? You got, like, a-
as I've like grown as an adult, a lot of people will be like, it'd be weird to see like a baby Booner. It's imagine you with the kid. And I'm just like, what? And like a lot of people say that to me. It's weird. I don't know.
Hey, that's a good thing. I don't know. Hey, take it however you want. Patty Grimes, Mailbag Booner. Who would you get next for the U of M basketball coach?
To be honest,
Baby
I don't.
Booner.
It's such a tough decision. You need it. I like what's his name from FAU, Dusty May. I'm a Dusty May fan.
Yeah.
From Florida Atlantic. I'm a big fan of him. He's taken Florida Atlantic and turned that program around. I just want someone who knows 3 things. 1, someone who can coach high-level D1 basketball and compete for a national championship. 2, I want someone who knows the transfer portal very well. And number 3, someone who knows the NIL. Those are like the only things that matter in college sports now. A lot of people are, hey, go get Beeline, go do. I feel like that's like an easy out just to say, hey, let's get Beeline. Maybe look within the program. Sadi Washington, I love Sadi. Great person. I personally don't. He probably doesn't know who Booner is, but like I've known who he is since I've been in like a freshman in high school. My best friend played for him at Oakland, and he's been just waiting for a shot. So maybe Sadi can get the job, or Dusty May. I like those choices.
Sarah asks, favorite midnight snack. I mean, boys, you know mine.
Jeff,
I don't-
say
I
it.
know yours.
Tell the people.
Come on. I mean, it's a chocolate croissants, boys. I mean, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like, come on, fellas. I mean, you'll understand this. I mean, you guys were making them. Now, Booner's making
You'll
them.
understand this. Shut up.
No, you will. Once you start eating them, you guys kind of, you got to try it. You got to kind of get a little glimpse of it. But once you indulge in some late night chocolate croissants, shit will change your life, man. I mean, it'll change your life.
I eat
So,
the same
actually-
snack every night.
Hold up. I got one right here, boys.
Open it
Come
up.
on.
Show the people. Split it open.
Give it,
Open it up.
Split it open in front of the cam.
Let's
Yeah.
see the middle.
Split it open.
Give it the split.
No,
You
with
gotta
on
do
the
it on
camera.
the
I want to see.
camera.
Oh,
Oh my god.
What? Wait. What is this like? What do you call it?
The food
Yeah.
review. Take
yeah,
a
like
bite. Take a bite. Walk us through
No,
a chocolate croissant.
what is it? ASMR or something? Or what is it? ASMR? Is it ASMR? What is it?
Bro's
Yeah,
camera
sure.
shy.
whatever your heart desires.
Hey, chocolate croissant, boys. I mean,
I like-
come on.
I'm a popcorn. I love popcorn, dude. I had a popcorn kernel in my tooth, and I was trying to get it out for like a week. I just cut my
This is a
gum.
problem for Booner. This was.
Yeah, dude. I kept telling you guys. Remember, there was like a whole week. I'm like, guys, like I think I have a cavity. I have to go to the dentist. Yeah, it was just gushing blood for a week. It ended up popcorn kernel came out. It was like, yep.
Kernel
Dude, I tried. I eat so much. I love popcorn though, dude.
It's like those. It's kind of messed up, but it's like that. The kids get lost in that cave with the soccer team. That's like the kernels in Booner's mouth, bro. They're lost.
So
they're in there
problem.
forever. They're in there for
Coach,
a long time, bro.
Coach
They're
Walk
in
said,
there
try brushing Booner. That was the issue. Was I thought I had this is the issue. Was I thought I had a cavity, and I brushed my teeth like twice, maybe like wake up, go to bed, and sometimes before the show. So I was like, dude, there's no way I have a cavity. I don't eat sweets, and all I do is eat popcorn and normal meals.
You don't eat sweets?
I'm not like a big fan of sweets. Like I'm not going to go out of my way to like go get chocolate.
Lucas,
I've never really seen Booner.
Lucas, you remember when this guy took the last chocolate chip cookie at the hotel? He's trying to say he doesn't eat sweets.
Both of these
I did,
dudes,
but ask
them.
Jeff. I took
Both
two
of
bites
them.
out of it. I took 2 bites out of it, and I left it on the table for everyone. It was
Yeah,
everyone's
so
choice.
you stole the cookie and you didn't go for the walk to the statue.
That's fucked up.
I'm a weird.
No,
I don't know what
person.
you
midnight
guys are
snack.
talking about.
It's gonna sound weird. Cereal. It is.
I don't know.
It's
There's
cereal.
no evidence against me, so I don't know what you guys are talking about. You got to show me the evidence. Show me the camera footage. I'm a ghost. You don't even know what happened. I don't know. I saw a cookie. I thought it was good. You know,
Unreal.
Cookie.
hey, it was good. Can't even lie about that. Yeah, this show's off the fucking rails, boys. All right, let's
Doc got us off the rails for sure.
yeah, let's all right, let's get to the next one. IT Hips Mailbag. If Cam Sutton is suspended by the NFL, can the Lions cut him without being affected by the salary cap? I looked up the Ray Rice situation because I think that's like the most egregious, like one of the most egregious examples. And I think, well, he was with the Ravens at the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the
believe so.
Ravens had to eat something. They had to eat some cap, a little bit of dead money. I don't
Feels like
think
a
it was a
dead cat.
lot.
Look it up.
And so the Lions aren't going to be scot-free with it, but I assume they'll be able to get out of most of it. But we'll see. I'm not a freaking. I would be in a front office. I mean, if I knew more than Brad Holmes. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you. Oh wow, never mind.
I'm pretty sure the Raiders had to eat, and I know it was only a rookie contract, but I think he was 11th overall. Like Henry Ruggs, they had to eat his contract. I know it's not like crazy money, but just throughout, like if a player fucks up and he's signed to you, especially Cam Sutton was guaranteed, you're gonna have to give up something.
Yeah, it'll be some dead money. I'm not sure on the amount though specifically. We'll find that on a later date.
The doc said, "Hold up before you log off," so he must have something on that because that is interesting. Because there are things and there's scenarios within the NFL, not just.
Oh no,
like
it ain't. It ain't about what you think it's about.
I seen
these. Martin's picks.
I saw them. I saw them.
Is he taking the Aleem route like you suggested, Booner, in the pictures or no?
Oh, I got him. I got him.
No, to be honest, I
John,
wasn't even thinking that
It's
when
like
I
a
saw
shoot
this
with
picture.
his wife, and it's
if this dude's bigger than normal, like if this
John,
is like a
no, dude, it's not that he's big. You won't even notice how big he is.
I thought it was like
you guys ready?
No, you will, but it's like this is,
dude. If Lex came up to me and was like, "Hey, babe, like let's do something," like I'd be like,
imagine Jeff with these photos.
I'd be like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Oh, let me see.
Look at it.
What is going on here, bro? What is this?
What
is going on?
Which one is pregnant? I mean, why does he have his shirt off, man?
Jeff.
Yeah.
What? I'm not trying to. But why does he have his shirt off?
Yeah, why did?
Yeah, that one I couldn't tell you, to be honest.
That was kind of fucked up, actually.
The picture on the right really just. I don't know what I'm looking at, man. Like, hey, I'm happy for him. Happy on a successful pregnancy.
Congrats.
Like nothing disrespect there, but
yeah, the baby
creativity here. I mean,
you know what?
It's subpar.
You guys go at Broderick. Guess what? Let's go, Broderick. Do what you got to do in the offseason. Get your mind right. Come back ready to go in training camp, brother.
Boone, you taking this? If your girl say, Booner, let's take these photos. I'm gonna be in a
Booner
nice
would 100% do it.
Dude, you know me, dude. I don't care about anything. Yeah, I don't care about anything, dude.
Hey, the baby. I will say the baby's adorable. Like, I mean, hey, the baby's cute. I mean,
Congra-
hey,
yeah,
shout out. They have a beautiful.
congrats.
They're gonna get a beautiful family. Happy for Broderick. But Broderick, if he were to listen, I mean, Broderick, why are you shirtless, man? I mean, what do we do? I mean,
There's a lot going on here. It's just a
Dude,
lot.
we
Yeah,
should. You know what we should
and he's
do?
like, why is he like shining, bro? Is he like got some like what?
Jeff,
Bro,
I sent you another one.
boys,
Oh,
boys. You know
no.
what we
This
should
one was
do?
off of Reddit. I seen our boys at Honolulu Blues post this earlier in the day. It was from the photo shoot, but it's so funny.
Hey, I King put in there Sears photos from 1998. Us four, we should go do one of those photo shoots, and I'll get in like some what are those like the jean jackets and everything, and go in there and just like do some let's do some wild. Oh my gosh.
yo, I'm down with that, Boone. I mean, like we can get some like look at this.
Come on. What are we doing here?
Oh my gosh.
Brad about to impregnate that draft, man. I think that's what they're saying. He's about to get to work, boy. That man about to get to work. God, what are we doing here?
Jesus.
What are we
That's
doing here?
Good stuff.
Hey, I mean, wasn't Brad a defensive lineman? I think this is what Brad probably looked like in college, to be honest. This is
Looks like Derek Lewis.
That's funny. Yeah, this is Brad about to make the draft his bitch, man. That's what
Not starting material.
that's crazy. Okay, well,
Photo.
don't you it's like Titanic,
Yeah,
Jack.
that's
Don't you
You
drown.
made it this far, Lucas.
Stay with
You
me.
made it this far.
Stay with
It's
me.
because we went over the 1 minute. His dad saw it was
God
10
damn.
o'clock, and his dad turned the Wi-Fi on at 10 o'clock, and it killed his Wi-Fi.
And we go to Lucas for comment.
Yeah,
All
no, good
right.
point.
Yeah, great point, Lucas. We appreciate you.
Love that Antina's hat over there, Lucas. Oh yeah.
Oh, we'll get out of here, man. The show is a shit show. All right, we'll get out of here.
love
God,
how
we'll
the
just chat
chat,
back.
man.
There you go. He's back. He's back.
Hey, I'm
All
back. Just it wouldn't be a show without it.
Yeah, hell
What we
yeah.
said.
All right, we got Lucas. He's back. Perfect time. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much. Thank you to Doc. Doc is the man. The man. He's the GOAT. And we appreciate him for everything. I mean, seriously, even for the off-the-air stuff.
Legend.
He's just a good human being. And I appreciate you fellas as well, because I love you guys. Love the chat too. All you guys, even though we have disagreements, it's still always an honor to be able to come on here and you guys take time out of your day to come tune into the fellas, and that makes it all that much better. Until tomorrow, we'll be back. Thursday show. It'll be a lot of fun. Maybe I'll reach out. We'll get Micro Mike on here. Micro Mike come and help us cook a little bit. And then Friday, then we got the weekend, fellas. So until tomorrow, we appreciate you guys. Have a blessed night.
Love you guys.
Deuces.
Peace.
Project Martin, put a shirt on.